Thought crimes. Thought crimes. Thought crimes. Thought crimes. Thought crimes.
Warning: the Federal Communications Commission has determined the following content to be emotionally harmful. Snowflakes should not view this content under any circumstances, even if supervised by a G.I. Joe, Navy SEALs, Army vet, or someone with good common sense. The views and opinions expressed, including the depictions of persons of color, corrupt politicians, white people with or without a tan, haters who have yet to brush their teeth typing angrily in the comment section with hot breath syndrome, do not reflect any official policy or position of the U.S. government. This program contains graphic language, dark comedy, unique intelligence, creativity, a high credit score, and high blood pressure when triggered. This program has also been accused of racism, violence, misogyny, mansogyny, feminism, MGTOWism, defacement of celebrities, and of course, being a bully. Welcome to Thought Crimes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to see y'all beautiful faces in the chat right now. This is your girl Sincere. Welcome to Thought Crimes, and I'm here with.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning. This is your man P Solo back in the building again. Boys and girls, like Sincere Ignorance said on this lovely morning, we hope you all are doing very well. We hope you all got the right amount of coffee. Hopefully, any coffee without any mold. I'm sorry out there, capitalist, industrialists. I know y'all slinging that weight out there, but we can't have people getting sick. Hope y'all took y'all vitamins too, by the way.
Yeah, look,
got
guys,
to put that out there.
You know, y'all have to do y'all research for yourselves, but Heirloom, we have that on the Patreon. Is good coffee.
Company is called Heirloom. All right, y'all go ahead. Go ahead, Sin. You do your thing.
I don't push for anything that I don't take myself. You know, no Bill Gates.
Reparations. Pushing for it.
And Good, which is GOODE.
Absolutely.
With canned goods, you know, beans and all that. You know, y'all check them out as well.
Canned goods. We're taking it back to Creflo Dollar.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to have canned goods that don't have any fake stuff in it like Campbell does.
Campbell, oh my God! What did the higher up saying? Campbell's, who cares? I would never eat that cardboard nasty stuff. Are you serious?
Some people still didn't know about Campbell. We talked about them a while ago and we brought it up again. So I'm gonna keep saying this so y'all can know not to buy it because I don't want y'all dying. Also,
he didn't care either with that stuffy suit.
Taylor Farms added again recalls for over 20 products. One of them being jalapenos. Man. So, crazy shit right there, you know. And another thing too,
all that stuff they doing, them recalls. I wonder how many black folks they laid off.
Salmonella.
Oh, salmonella.
This time around.
Okay, they love that salmonella, E. coli. It's the same thing.
If you're in the South right now, you may have to take a pause on seafood, raw seafood.
Oh, hell no!
Yeah, so you know, no sushi and all that stuff right now. Some is a flesh eating bacteria going around. 9 people got it. In Louisiana, 5 people died.
Oh my goodness! Shouts out to our folks from the boot state, man. That is crazy, man. That is crazy. Step away from the crabs, all right?
I really do.
Step away from the crabs. Shouts out to the people in Baltimore. Step away. Y'all know I always say New Orleans and Baltimore sister cities. Step away from the crabs. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, people.
Also, I really do
Lord
I really do like you guys because I was actually thinking about like skipping from my occupation and I was just gonna go do something else. And I said, you know what? I want to talk to the think tank.
Serious to ditch school.
No, I tried that a couple times for a class I preferred, and I got in trouble eventually.
How you get caught?
I don't want to go into it. Let's just move past that. But
see, that what happened when you were a hall monitor. Hall monitors can't skip.
Also, Gracie says stop eating raw food. Period.
I know they got y'all up there. They putting you niggas through the ringer.
I can't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't want to fuck with me. All right. We also going to be talking about what's going on here with the trial pertaining to Keefe D and Tupac. Allegedly, Keefe D murdered Tupac Shakur.
30 years later, him and I believe 3 other individuals in a white Cadillac.
Also, we have TYGA talking about AI music and doing AI music very poorly, I may add. Maybe he needs to go talk to Ghost. But this does remind me of a video Prince did, which he made me laugh, where he said TYGA was at the, what you said, the assembly line?
at the end of the assembly line.
Yeah, he
artificial irrelevance.
he called him artificial irrelevance. That video is still fucking funny because
it aged very well.
Foreshadowing, he did the AI, and years ago you called him artificial irrelevance.
Yeah.
So that shit was funny.
I will give it to TYGA, and I'll say this.
Rap City bitch. Rap City bitch. 10 City bitch.
He has followed the scorpionic principle of constant transformation, because I will say this. TYGA literally, to me, has one of the most unexpected careers that, like, if you guys remember when he first popped out around the jerkin movement and all that, man, ain't no way thought they would be hearing TYGA 16, 17 years later. I'm not saying he at the top of the charts, though. I'm just keeping that real, because I think what does it say? Rack City, like you said, Rack City. I think when he got down there to them beats and then he slid on some of them tracks, that was the best thing that happened to him.
He got going again, cooking again when he hopped over to Jersey for a little bit.
What did he do in Jersey? Because he was skipping around a lot.
He did a little bit of the Jersey house music scene.
He did.
And that was, that did well.
What was the girl's name? Y'all let us know in the chat. The sister from Jersey, that she was like one of the hottest little things coming out of Jersey City. I think she was from Jersey City.
She's from Jersey. Also, Usher Clone.
It was a clone.
That was a body double on
stage.
That
was a damn Sudanese clone. That nigga was from Somalia.
Nigga, you stupid. First of all, the guy was too slim. And Usher
need to get
Usher, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Usher tired, y'all.
People paid.
Usher tired, y'all. Y'all work at Usher.
People paid to go to your show.
Yeah.
Live to see you in concert. One moment, they see a thick ass flashing everybody on the bed.
Right, yeah.
All right. You got thick abs and biceps. Then they come to one show, slimmer, the butt looked flat. That was not Usher. How your ass meaty and then flat? The next show. And it wasn't like that nigga couldn't dance either. What the fuck was that?
Yo, whoever Bishop was, that was Bishop on stage. He was stiff as hell.
And he wasn't singing.
Did you see him had his head?
Backtrack.
That nigga looked like Shawty Low in the face.
He did look like Shawty Low.
All right.
Shawty Low.
R.I.P. Shawty Low, man. But come on, dog. I'm like, what's Shawty Low doing on stage?
You got it bad.
Man, that was crazy.
Double ganger on the stage right now.
He's pulling the MF Doom.
You got it bad.
You know, a lot of them do that.
Asses on the stage.
Because at first I was like, what are they talking about? But then I looked at it. I said, who is this?
Where's the Illuminati button?
That was Carlos on stage. All right. Who the hell was that on stage? All right. Right. And then Usher gonna comment on Instagram. Where are y'all getting this from?
Nigga, you try to be slick. Now, don't get me wrong. I would deny it too, because he don't want to get sued.
Yeah, he ain't trying to get sued.
People be like, yo, we suing you because that wasn't you. He gotta go through with that lie.
They said, Dope says it looked like Neo for a second. Who the hell that was.
That's a good one, Dope.
Got that 9-layer coat on.
Yeah, at first I
got
thought
that
it was
flea market coat on.
I thought it was like a Ja Morant dad or something on there. I'm like, come on.
Man, that looked like a coat you would have got from a gas station back in the day off Simpson Road. The hell he get this coat from?
It was a Soulja Boy
outfit. It was
a Soulja Boy outfit.
It's that Soulja Boy era when niggas were walking around with the Eminem jackets and the DuPont jackets. Yeah, the NASCAR jackets.
Superboy. Wait, no. What's it called? Superboy Tell 'em?
Soulja Boy. You said Superboy Tell 'em said. Now that's the fake version of sin. This ain't sin on the mic. Soulja Boy Tell 'em.
Right, you're not even listening to sin right now. I too have my own
clone.
Not clone, but somebody to stand in for me.
It's the reverse. Her name is Niz. Niz.
That's actually
Niz.
Y'all listening to Niz right now.
All right, yeah. They said that was Lloyd Banks. Shouts out to Emperor. I know, yeah. Usher, I'm not going to lie. When he slid in the comments, said, come on, Usher don't respond to nothing really online. He going to slide in the comment section. Hey, y'all.
Nah.
Where y'all getting this from? Y'all got to chill out.
Well, I got a lift from Jamie Foxx. I'm your conscience.
I'm your conscience, nigga.
He had a guilty conscience, so he ran on social media.
He tried to get a lawsuit.
Don't sue me. It was me.
Hey, it was me, y'all. Boy, y'all say the craziest things. Gosh darn it, kids say the darndest things.
Get his ass again with another Illuminati button.
Usher ain't. We ain't never see Usher pop up nowhere on social media.
You got to play the full clip, Prince. That's how bad this was.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up, but
You got to play the full Illuminati button.
oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to mute the mics then. Let's go.
Thought crimes.
I saw the check, nigga. Huh?
See why you can't be a part of think tank?
Thought crimes.
Good old Joey. Can we hear Joey again?
JoJo.
See why you can't be a part of think tank?
Thought crimes.
All right now. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, because, when I saw it, I had some fun looking at it. And I was cool on it. I said, man, you know what, Sid? I was like, man, I love us how we can just even joke with people that look like us. Don't mean they act like us, right? But at least that felt like a family cookout online. They was just lightly cooking Usher. But when that nigga popped up, I said, wait a minute now.
I think
Hold it, nigga.
A lot of black people said they would do the same thing. Like, if you got like 300 tour dates, I mean, like, if I could get away with a body double,
yeah.
But that one was a bad one.
I mean, niggas would do it if it's a fat nigga that kind of look like them. Put that nigga on stage. Put that nigga on stage.
They said MF Doom used to do that.
Yeah, MF Doom used to do that. And now the white hipsters got angry at him.
Man, this isn't Doom.
You know why? He went up in my book on that one. I was like, oh, man, I like this nigga.
I know.
I love this nigga.
Take them white people's money.
They were having interviews with people on them blog sites, and it was like, dude, and when I looked, I can see under the mask was flapping.
Yeah, bro. Like, I had my yerba, and I was, like, there early. I was very fucking stoked and excited. And, bro, that's not even him.
The mask was flapping at the end of it. I was like, yo, MF Doom, he moved up. He moved up several notches in my book for the imposter dooms alone. The clone dooms, y'all don't understand. That was a big deal. The clone dooms.
And then because his name is MF Doom, all he has to do is be sophisticated with it. Well, it's a part of the art. See, MF Doom has multiple universes. And so, some of them show up.
Yeah, man. Nah, Doom is one of our favorites, hands down.
They're variants of me.
The Doom variants. One of them showed up as Robert Downey on crack. Yeah, no, I loved it. But yeah, the Usher thing, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I was investigating it lightly.
You was really investigating this, Prince?
Yeah, 'cause I was looking at the goatee. I said, the lip don't kind of look like him. So I said, but it was none of my business.
He looked too small. Like, how he going to get... I get why he thought it was a good idea, because the person looks like him. But...
I get you saying.
It looks like him, sort of.
Right.
But he just didn't have the, nah. And then the bad dancing, too. Like, who gonna believe that?
He was dancing like his knees was hurting. I'm hurting bad when I'm on the stage pretending to be the one you think. All right, and it was fantastic. Now, again, my antennas went up when Usher actually popped up online. I said, Usher, what you doing? You not supposed to confirm or deny. Get your ass offline.
Yeah, Shadow said Ozempic Usher. And I agree, because when I saw it, I said I still could be wrong. Like, maybe my eyes are fucked up.
That's what most people do. I could be wrong.
Maybe my eyes are fucked up or something. But when you said he went online,
yeah.
I said, nah, nigga, you did have a body.
Hey, guys. Y'all say the craziest things. You don't want to trigger an investigation from the insurance company.
Also, another thing I saw, there be a lot of thirst traps on social media, like women, like, shaking their ass and stuff. I don't care. Yeah. Do what you do. But please have your room be clean.
Oh, yeah, Sid showed me that one. You showed me that one.
Someone was sharing around a girl.
Trying to fit a big butt in them jeans.
Yeah, but the room was dirty.
The room was distracting.
I said, how can someone look at your ass if they looking at that dirty room?
I said, that's Oscar the Grouch's woman.
And I was like, right, like.
I said, I don't know about that one, y'all. But I know people they'll still smash without caring.
I mean, they may smash still somebody else in a dirty room, but that don't look good to me. Like, how you have a dirty room and you want people to look at your butt, though? But the room is dirty.
Well, I think it's a part of it.
Basket of clothes everywhere, stuff on the bed and all that.
Yeah, because people live life. People are busy. Sometimes you only got time to do what you need to do. But when she went online thirst trapping, I said, you must be doing dirt play. No, there's some niggas that are into that. They
No,
like dirty foot women, dirty foot men. No, there's some niggas they really into that, men and women. They into that stuff. So I was like, well, maybe it's just like dirt play, junk play, clutter sex. I don't know what this is.
I just said,
but Sid showed it to me. I started laughing.
Clean your room.
Yeah, how many people? What they said in the comment section? People were like, "What they?"
I didn't look because I just said clean your room and I moved on.
Yeah, Sid did say clean your room.
Clean your room. You gonna turn the fucking camera on in the room dirty? That's you know what she trying to say. Men have low standards. They don't care.
Yeah, there could be she's not wrong about that to some degree. I'm not saying that's all because there's a lot of, I'm not into the dirty, Oscar the Grouch play stuff. But I just thought like, either she's trolling or she's don't care. She really don't care. And to be fair, probably a lot of the guys was like breaking off some change and they didn't even care about the room. Girl, I don't care about that. I will smash you on top of the dumpster. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the topics now. I think we should go straight into the Tupac and Suge stuff first.
Hey, it's the first one. So Suge Knight recently stated that leave him out of it. Now they have, I believe, let me see here, they have a 200 plus names. Okay, they said that Suge Knight is still on the prosecution's witness list of 200 names. Since he's literally sitting in the car. Of course, he was right there in the car. The bullet grazed his head. And then people were saying, Suge Knight never got hit in the head. It was glass, or they just calling him. They say he's a big back liar.
Black people. I ain't gonna lie. He
Yeah.
do got a big back, but y'all crazy. They
Yeah.
say so.
Yeah.
Online, they say big back liar.
Yeah, because when Tupac died, a lot of people was calling him a big back liar. They said, he was pretending that he got hit and, then he showed the stitches and all this other stuff. So recently he said keep him out of it, keep himself out of it because he don't want to be involved. But he said despite the case, they're more than likely still going to drag him to the trial per se. So,
well, I mean, culturally, anybody in the West Coast, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not from there. But it seems like the underworld in the West Coast is like a thing. Even if you cared about somebody, and if they get killed, and maybe this is just mafias, or gangs just across the board. But if you liked or loved someone, and they was in this, and they get killed, you don't go to the cops or the feds. You either handle it yourself, or you let it go. But usually they handle it with street justice, allegedly. So based off of his mindset, he doesn't live a regular civilian life because, tell. But I guess for the space that he's in, it's I'm not telling. Also, he's in prison. So there could be consequences if he does, allegedly. But what do you think about it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't mind that mindset, if y'all are going to get retribution. Look, I'm just being honest with y'all. But, some of the black rapper associated affiliate gangs be like, I'm not going to snitch, but then there's nobody getting slid on either. Versus the mafia, they don't snitch, but they do go, when we talking about other mafias, they don't snitch, but they're going to take care of business. Now, I've seen situations where guys say, don't talk to the police, and then something happened to somebody in the other part of town or whatever the case. But I just think a lot of times right now, I think no snitching is kind of worn like a Nike swoosh symbol. And I'm not saying for Suge Knight's situation because Suge is in prison. And he's always
part of a
said,
gang, yeah.
Yeah, he's always said he was never going to tell about what took place. Even I think when they interviewed him in '97.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That's what they love about the movie Godfather, where there was that scene where, he was talking about the guy who basically had the idea for Nevada and for Las Vegas. And how, he ended up dead even though he was an innovator.
Oh, yeah. You talking about Bugsy Siegel.
Yeah. And he said that, even though he loved him and people just took his ideas and then ran with it, he said he didn't react emotionally because he understood what he signed up for when he decided to be in this type of lifestyle, which is very dangerous, very violent. And so he moved on. So that's why like they either get revenge or they move on.
Well, yeah, it is that, and I just think at this point in time, it's 30 years later. If anything, I mean, the last people that are left from that era, at least in the public profile space, would be Gene Deal, who has given interviews to Art of Dialogue. Art does the damn thing himself. He did incredible interviews with Suge Knight. I still think he got some of the best interviews and conversations out of Suge Knight. And then, of course, there's Suge himself. Then there's Keefe D, who is terminally ill, so he doesn't have that much time on this earth. If I recall, he has like a form of terminal cancer. And I think there's some loose outfits on the backdrop like Kirk Burroughs who don't really make public appearances. But really, if y'all want to be honest, they kind of last of the Mohicans of 96, 97. Or if you want to argue 1995 to 97, because that whole little rap Civil War would also include Ruthless Records, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, going all the way into Suge, Diddy, and then Tupac and Biggie as well.
And so to add to that, I mean, of course, Suge Knight is a part of the underworld. So if anybody was expecting his big ass to tell, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Told them, back then. They said, now Suge.
But most of the
do you
people,
know who killed Tupac?
He said he don't know.
He said, yes, and even if I did, I would not tell.
See?
He said, absolutely not.
And so because of that, civilians, though, and the people who made up the majority of Pac's fan base are people who aren't in that space.
Yeah, the fans.
And so the fans... And they're just lovers of hip hop and music. They're like, well, we want to know.
Yes.
And we want to see that person get locked up.
I want to know.
And I want to know. And also,
no, tell me why niggas be from Canada talking a funny type of way.
And also, Jada says she wants to know who put out the hit on Pac. She said that on a couple of podcasts.
Yeah, she did.
Last year and a year before last, Jada said she would like to know who put out the hit to get the contract hit to get Tupac killed.
She also said she didn't really enjoy the energy of Suge Knight when she saw him. I think she met him one time. Now, okay, how can that go? Well, it's interesting. You know what's so crazy about all of this? I want y'all to stop and think about it. Keefe, Suge, Diddy, all in prison.
One thing, though.
That's crazy. They're all in prison right now.
But why is it okay for Suge to talk about the egg test and not this? Because the only thing that's also in the age of the internet that's getting confusing with a lot of the gang guys is like, but y'all online always talking. So, and then you still revealing information, and isn't revealing any information on any crime stuff snitching?
I'm going to be honest with you, Sid. I get what you're saying, and most of that is for, how can I say, it's almost like a trophy wife. It's more so for clout. It seemed, at least for me growing up, all of the OGs was telling when they started getting football numbers. Okay, now Suge's situation.
Keefe was on Art and other people's platforms saying he saw Tupac Harlem shaking when he got shot up.
Disrespectful nigga.
Disrespectful. He said a lot of shit. Now, I mean, they all talk online. I'm very confused by this because, when you growing up as a 90s baby, you're like, they probably really serious about no snitching, because most of the time you didn't see it unless it was an informant or something, then okay. Right. And you see reveal. But it's like most of social media, I would say even since day one, a lot of people be on Vad TV's couch as well. All I see is gangsters yapping.
They got podcasts.
Snitching, revealing all the time.
Yeah.
Snitching on each other, snitching on their competitor, talking about background stuff that's taking place. So I'm like, so how does that still apply in modern time? I don't know. I was confusing.
I think more so it would be on brand if I recall. Now, again, unless anybody can tell me something different, unless Whack 100 pops up with paperwork, I don't think I recall Suge Knight necessarily throughout his career as a prisoner, even going back to 97. I don't really recall him telling on anybody about anything. So I don't know if that necessarily applies to him. Now, Keefe D is on record, putting it on the dead guy. Now, I do remember going back to Vlad TV when he had an interview with Big U. Big U was up there faking the funk, acting like he didn't know what was going on. Word, they said Keefe, wow, he told, crazy. So he shot Tupac? Wow, that's wild. But at the time, they were talking about Keefe D being on tape and telling in, this book, kind of like his O.J. Simpson, if I had done it type situation. And again, it's no snitching unless there's money involved, unless you can have a career, unless you can be taken away from the hood and moved to a nice little suburban division where the real gangsters and street niggas run out of gas trying to get their hands on you.
Also, Chris said he felt the government. Is my mic fine?
Yeah.
Okay. He said he felt that the government was responsible for Pac's murder. Even if that's the case, I mean, it's still connected to gangs though too, because there are certain syndicates that get certain favorability from federal government, state government. I mean, that's how certain things move around. This is why the government has the power to stop a lot of this. They don't do it for a reason. As you saw with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, the FBI already knew what he was doing with children. When he was trafficking internationally, a lot of agencies knew. So going back to the Pac thing, it would be no different. Even if the government had a personal vendetta against Tupac, it doesn't change the fact that gangs were also involved in the execution of carrying out those contracts. And also the fact that people in the industry have great relationships with people in government. I mean, you see, this is how people get pardons or get favoritism with their businesses. I don't want to say no names, but, you also have very, big time CEOs who've had great relationships with, I'll say a name because since he's exiled, Russell Simmons. He had a great relationship with the mayor of New York at one time, New York City, and other government officials until he somehow is now on the outs. So I still think it's all connected.
Well, let me just break this down here real quick, Sin. So let's just, since we're talking about snitching and tattletaling and all these other wonderful things that interest us square civilians, right? Because again, L7s and lames are not supposed to be talking about this, but the street niggas keep bringing it to our attention because they need the squares and the civilians for traffic. All right, that's good old capitalism. But to the point here, Sin. Keffe D rejected a plea deal ahead of his trial, maintaining he's innocent, choosing to go to trial instead. The deal was reportedly 10 to 25 years, and he said, I didn't do nothing.
How old is he?
I think he's 63.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
So if you're in that situation,
right,
he's taking a gamble because it's like he probably gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
Why would so he wouldn't take
then
that.
He would be forever in the grave as Tupac's killer.
Yeah, a plea deal like that is like maybe somebody 20 years old, they come out in their 40s.
Why they give him that offer like he 35?
Right.
Boy, they
like
tripping.
He's 35 or 20 something. Like, no, bro, that's
come on now, 10 to 30.
So
work with us.
He the mindset. I might as well take the risk.
So he said, why would he take the deal? His reasoning is partly because, as we stated here, health and age based. He's 63 years old, has cancer or had a cancer battle, has had 3 heart surgeries or heart stents, and figures the average American lives to about 74 years. He says he's got about 10 years, so a decade plus sentence feels like a life sentence anyway. He claims that his past incriminating statements, including a 2008 interview, were just for the money. He was just after the money, a financial ploy, not a real confession, and now points to former death row security chief. What did I tell you guys? Reggie Wright Jr. And I've told you guys for 3 years. No, Sid and I, we talked about it for 3 years. We said, pay attention to Reggie Wright. And we said this while Keffe D was going from Art to Vlad to Capone. We would say, hey, man, y'all better pay attention. Reggie Wright situation, that's going to heat up.
Well, there's a lot of gangs that are in police departments for people who don't know. Italian, Jewish, Irish, people who are part of Bloods, Crips, and all that. A lot of gangs and mafias are also in police departments. And was speaking about Reggie. We don't have no association with him, but we was like, he gonna have to be careful with his situation because Keffe D did say, if I go down, then
he said if I go down for Tupac's murder, then Reggie should go down for Biggie's.
Yeah.
and
And then also he was also begging for money on Art of Dialogue channel. He said, did he take care of him?
Yeah.
He was saying like, look, I did what you wanted, and where's my $1 million?
Right.
A lot of people will say anything when they want you to pave the way to hell. That's
You know
why you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, a great point here, Sin. And also Chris, shouts out to Chris Dragon 88. That's a funny name. Says here, yes, Reggie took off Michael Moore, who had a weapon. Yeah, they said that the individuals at the time, they were not to have any weapons to quote unquote actually protect Suge and Tupac.
But you see how the ripple effect happens, because Reggie said he'd take down Dr. Dre.
People are skipping past that.
So
Don't skip past that.
It's a domino effect.
What do we mean by that?
What's that song where he said, and this what I call a chain
chain
reaction?
reaction.
Who was that? Who
That was
said
Jay-Z.
Yeah, that was Jay-Z.
She looked at my chain and started reacting. Now that's what the fuck I call a
it
chain reaction.
That was so 90s. That shit was so 90s, wasn't it?
My stamina be Pamela Anderson. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, but no, okay, now, what does sin mean by that? All right, well, let's break this down. Remember, Reggie Wright, I believe he still does his work with Bomb First, all right? Reggie Wright talked about the dynamic with Suge. Do you mind if I do this, Sin? I'm going to go through this. I hope it ain't going to eat up too much of your time there, beautiful sister.
Yes, you could bleed them.
All right, let's break this down. Okay, so to put it this way, if you guys will remember going back to Compton's Most Wanted, the film with NWA, Suge Knight, the film about Dr. Dre's life, NWA, and all the stuff, it had Ice Cube's son in there as well. So during the filming process on the set, there was a guy by the name of Bones, all right? Legend in the West Coast, the Jungle, shouts out to Brandy Kane and all of them. They tap in from time to time too, right? So, and also Bones himself had did some directing. He had a documentary I used to watch back in the day. It was called Bastards of the Party, Bloods and Crips, all right? You guys should check it out. It is a dope documentary, all right? So he was working on the set of, America's Most Wanted. Suge Knight, for whatever reason, shows up to the set in that red truck. There's some drama that ensues. Bones is apparently landing shots, blow after blow after blow, on Suge Knight's face while Suge Knight is sitting in the truck. And I believe Carter, that school was in the back seat or in the back of the truck, the cab of the pickup truck with Suge Knight. You know, he was sitting there, and then so Suge takes off. Because now Suge's story is that they said that Dr. Dre wanted to talk to him and that they were supposed to make peace with everything, or they were supposed to look, I don't know, because some people like, bro, Suge Knight bullshit, and he was going down there to start trouble. Then some people was like, nah, somebody did lure Suge out there because they had a contract on them. Whatever the case, an altercation takes place. Bones is landing blows on top of Suge Knight's bald head. Suge Knight hits the gas. Mr. Carter falls out. He gets his head crushed by the back wheel of the truck. All right.
Fatality. R.I.P.
Yeah, and it really wasn't intentional. It was a very freak accident that took place. Then
Suge was like, "Fuck everybody else. I'm getting out of there."
Yeah, because Suge was trying to get out there because he didn't know if they was gonna pump some more shells in his ass. All right, because y'all know Suge been already shot. He been shot like 7 times. All right, Shim is like protected by the Grim Reaper. All right,
but Suge got a big body though. Although that don't necessarily.
No, there's some big niggas that didn't got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Biggie got hit with 4 bullets.
Yeah, I don't mean by just fat. He's like really tall too.
Well,
how is he? What is he like 6'5"? Was that too? Or am I exaggerating?
I just think his ancestors protect him. Really, he's like some big old. He's like a big old warlock. It's some weird shit that go on with Suge Knight.
That's why he was perfect for Interscope, because there's a lot of warlocks.
There's a lot of them over there.
Allegedly. With the Illuminati band.
All right now. Hey man. All right now. With that being the case.
I thought so you bringing up the Johnny Depp movie?
Oh yeah, they shelved the Johnny Depp film about, what was it, the Rampart scandal.
Yeah, the Johnny Depp film was about who killed Biggie.
And actually, if you want to be honest, you and I, we talked about, we said that's really where Johnny Depp started getting bad publicity. Amber Heard said Johnny Depp got grandma maple jars full of cocaine.
I'm not gonna lie, he looked like it though. But she shouldn't be talking because she looked like she was sniffing it out of his jar.
Because I'm like, what are y'all doing? Y'all sticking your hand in there and slapping it across your face?
I felt they both
sniff it.
I felt they both probably were putting their pinkies in that jar.
I think they were putting their whole palm in there. But anyway, they were doing like LeBron James before the game.
When he hangs in the
with the chalk in the air.
The chalk in the air.
So, okay, so let's talk about this now, because this is all very interesting. As we say, we told y'all 5 years ago, we said, yo, y'all gonna have to pay attention to Reggie Wright. That's a situation there. All right, now, with that being the case, so the situation took place with Suge Knight. Now, what Sin and I heard, some people said Suge, again, some gangsters said to, yo, man, he a big back liar. Again, he's a big back liar, dog. Y'all don't believe him, man. He a big back liar. All right, we was like, all right, cool. Then some people was like, nah, bro. Dr. Dre put a stamp on his head, allegedly. I said, hey, I don't know, right? So then we left it alone. Now, they were showing footage of somebody after Bones gets ran over, because Carter gets ran over. He dies. It's a deadly situation. Bones gets ran over. Suge runs him over, klooks him, right? Bones is laid stretched out on the street. Now you see some objects fall on the ground. Somebody goes to him before they go to Bones. They pick something up off the ground. They said it was a walkie-talkie. I said, fine, whatever. Looks like a gun to me, nigga, but I'll leave it alone, right?
Walkie-talkie.
Right?
Welcome to Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Welcome to Good Burger, right? So you're right about that. So here's the thing. Now, the altercation in itself was kind of just left up. Suge's ass is a troublemaker once again. Now, what's interesting about Suge Knight, let me go back to another caveat situation. When Suge was at the party with Chris Brown and I think with Cat Williams talked about this. Suge was supposed to be meeting with a publicist because he was going to do a tell-all book, a memoir. And at the time, this was being floated around on the hip-hop blogs back in the day.
We was talking about it too.
Yeah, so we were interested.
He was like, what he gonna say?
Yeah, and then all we heard is that somebody all at the party, and Suge got shot up all up under his stomach and across his back.
So he got shot again anyway.
He lived though.
That's
he got shot 7 times, but how he get shot meeting his publicist for a memoir tell-all book? He'd be everywhere else. The most, he got knocked out by a barber, right? So that was kind of like for Sin and I, we don't trust Suge, but we should. There's like a question mark. Why did that happen, right? So then they said that Suge, this is how TMZ reported it. Yo, Suge showed up here and he wanted to start trouble with Dr. Dre. We said that could be the case.
Could be, could not be.
Could be the case. An Aquarius and an Aries.
I can't deny it, but we just don't know.
All right? I'm not a fucking liar. All right? You ain't going to put that on me. All right? So, Sid and I, we was hearing some things. There were people talking, but, we didn't say anything about anything. Now, Reggie Wright goes on bomb first.
Bomb first.
All right, bomb first, right? My second reply. Reggie Wright randomly has this conversation where he's just talking about what really went on with Suge Knight showing up to the set, because up until then, the only backstory was Suge went to the America Most Wanted set to fuck around with Dr. Dre. And everybody was like, man, we know Suge is a big color toast jealous ass nigga. That's what people were saying. All right, so everybody left it alone in the culture. Suge doing what Suge does, and then people were praising Dr. Dre. Dre is more successful than Suge, so everybody moved on. That's what the culture was talking about, right? But then Reggie goes on there, and he brings up Bones, and he played a recorded conversation with another man. I can't remember who the brother was, but another nigga talking to Bones. Now, Bones is talking. Now, Bones, you may remember him. He's the nigga that told Lonzo, Denzel Washington's character, when he walked off in training that, I can't stand that motherfucker. That's Bones, the nigga with the do-rag. The nigga that looked like a dark-skinned Blasian. That's Bones, right? Now, interestingly enough, Denzel Washington's character is actually based on a real-life corrupt Los Angeles Police Department police officer. That's where the Lonzo character was developed from. They claim that character had ties to death row, right? He gets killed in traffic, some other crazy shit. Y'all got to look up the backstory with the death row records. It's a very rich history in violence, right? So Reggie Wright is on Bomb First. He plays this audio. It's played randomly. It just kind of is like whatever. So you hear Bones saying, Dr. Dre said that Suge Knight was a headache. And man, it'd be nice if something could happen to him. Now, what Bones was alleging on this recorded audio that Reggie Wright played on Bomb First is that Dr. Dre fitted him with $500,000 to make something happen, at the very least, right? And Bones is, you can hear, I'm not, Peace Ola, I ain't making this up. Sin ain't making this up. So you can't get us niggas. Y'all put it on the microphones. We're going to talk about it.
Well, that's the point. It's not our story.
It's not our story.
That's like, in recent time when you see like online game bangers, like what you get mad at other people for? Y'all put these stories up yourself.
Yeah.
99% of the stories that are online come from the industry directly and people who are part of gangs. So when you see people try to like blame the fans or blame, independent media and all this other stuff, I'm like, it's industry people and people who are part of gangs who keep bringing this up.
So I'm giving you all, and she's right, I'm giving you this backstory because y'all can go check it out. It's on Bomb First. They, because I watched it. I said, oh, that's crazy. Why is Bones talking, though? That's crazy. Right? But Bones may not have known he was being recorded. Now, we told y'all a lot of niggas in the industry record each other.
Yeah, just to
what
add,
did E40 say back in the day? They might be taping.
Yes.
They all record each other.
People in the industry, when they're on the phone
with you,
they are always getting recorded.
That's why y'all be hearing random leaks.
Leaks happen all the time because they are all recorded.
Everybody records each other.
They're recorded so much that I'm actually kind of surprised that industry people, when they're on the phone, they don't talk with the presumption that they're being recorded.
They might be taping. All right? So Bones sound like he didn't know he was being taped. So he just started talking. Yeah, man, Dr. Dre, man, shit, man, I ain't got to do nothing. All I got to do, nigga, is heal. Right? So that's all that happened in that regard. So what is insinuated is that Dr. Dre is putting green lights on niggas' heads. And Reggie Wright had kind of flexed that story or that information publicly.
So dope say how many Death Row Records documentaries.
I know, man. It's a catalog.
Millions made by the independent scene and by the industry. Ooh. So I agree with you, dope.
Death Row Records is the most notorious record label in music history.
And it's now in the hands of Snoop Dogg.
Snoop. All right. That's funny, Sid. That was right on cue. So, remember now, Dr. Dre's name came up with Tasha K when that whole situation about a lady that apparently was a girlfriend to Dr. Dre. She said that Dre was threatening to kill her, kind of give you that Diddy action like they talked about with Diddy and Capricorn getting beat up under the car and shit. All right?
The only difference is that Dr. Dre didn't get caught up with his own Cassie.
There you go.
Seemingly, allegedly.
Yeah, so, again, these are things that have been talked about. That's why the Suge Knight angle where he's like, leave me out of it, because, let's be real, Keefe D has been singing like Nina Simone on camera.
He was a clout chaser. And like a lot of gangbangers are. And look, I get it. You didn't get paid by the person in the ivory tower. And so Keefe D, in order to pay his bills, he didn't have no other real skill except for allegedly getting people killed. So he was singing on Art's platform, talking about Pac was Harlem shaking when they got him, and he was in the vehicle with the shooter when they popped him and all this other stuff. And it's like, he did the book. And actually, Keefe D was becoming so confident. He was about to put out his own merch.
Yeah.
He was one step
Yeah.
away from putting out his own merch, which is very crazy because it's like, to all the criminals out there, you know, it's weird for y'all to have egos and to talk so much. Y'all could get picked up at any time. Like, all that tough talking on the internet, literally, any of you could get picked up at any time. And even in the Jeffrey Epstein situation, he got his neck broken, even though he was really linked and secured into a grand international power hub, and he still got his neck broken.
The only thing
so,
I'll say,
I forgot. The official story is
Yeah.
he committed suicide. Sorry.
Yeah, the only one I can recall that had transitioned from streets to media is one of the individuals I'm talking about. I think he did the smartest was actually Bones. Now, again, I don't think Bones knew at the time he was being recorded. So he was just talking on the phone. But everybody else that really put in some street work, you know, to the point they're on podcasts and they're actually talking about notable figures getting killed, that they've been kicking it with them, they've been chilling with them. That, yeah, you know, they talk about it all the time.
This is what people, gangbangers, do when they online. I love everybody, but this is what they be doing. Yeah, and I was there. We stomped the fuck out of Future. I put the gun in his mouth. We almost shot that nigga. Then, like, they hear in the news, like, years later, like, the story's coming out, people getting caught up in Ricos and stuff. I was exaggerating the story. I wasn't there. It's like, but, like,
You know
this
who
is
else?
all online.
You know who else is the slickest nigga to do that too?
Who?
But he ain't black? Fat Joe.
Yeah, Fat Joe
Fat
did it all the
Joe,
time.
see, Fat Joe comes out of the tradition of the mafia of New York.
No, he did.
He said, "Oh, everything I rapped about was fake."
He was also talking too loose with the lips but then he got caught up with a
Yeah.
RICO
Yes, he
for
did.
sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Now the person amended. They dropped the part of the sex trafficking part. They dropped that out of the lawsuit. Now it's just based off of money owed. But yet they talk so much. So then when they start getting in trouble, they try to retract to say everything is fantasy, and that doesn't always work. For a few people it works, but you saw Alex Jones try to do that, and he's not even in the mafia, but he tried to do that.
Yes.
When he said on the mic that them kids were the parents were paid actors who had their children killed. So he tried to backpedal, said, no, I'm an entertainer. And said, nah, we still taking your shit. He had to pay out to the parents who suffered. Then he lost his entire brand and company. So, and like Prince said, there's so much in hip hop online where gangsters and everybody are talking. This is also why you see a lot of it happen to what? The two most media and regions out there, the West Coast and the East Coast. The West Coast and the East Coast talk all the time online about their own alleged evil deeds, right? So much so that a lot of them have gotten picked up.
Yeah, they did. I strangled him. He screamed "mama" before he died. It's like episode 3, right? Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
So,
and they're not even keeping it in the art. This is not like a movie or anything. They straight up on mics talking about it.
And not even just real documentaries, like real good documentaries, So with that being the case, Reggie Wright, he put that information out there about Bones and Dr. Dre and then the other third individual's dynamic, which kind of gives you more of an insight about how a lot of dark energy is, a lot of it's ran in the industry. Now, there's also the Southside Crip situation, and then what was the album that came out that I think Snoop Dogg was tied to, where some of the loose affiliates to Keefe D were on the album, and I think Snoop was like an executive producer or he co-produced the album. Somebody in the chat, a hip-hop historian.
Keefe D probably like, damn, everybody getting money but me.
They did, player. I'm not trying to be funny,
Maybe niggas always knew maybe you would be the one to get picked up.
Well, somebody was telling us years ago about some stuff, but look, a lot of the stuff, a lot of people already know about certain things, and then the stories that y'all hear about how certain people die or why they were killed is not the official story behind the scenes. And a lot of times when something takes place with Nipsey's, they take place with Tupac's, Biggie's, they take place with Pop Smoke's, Von's. The streets already know about
Dolph,
it. Yes.
Mo, list goes on and on. Jam Master Jay.
Yella Beezy is on trial right now because they are using his lyrics talking about how they were going to kill Mo3, and then after Mo3 gets killed, how Mo3 got killed, because you don't even see Trap Boy Freddy outside as much anymore. You know, and that whole Dallas scene just concaved on itself.
Yeah, I think a lot of criminals think the internet is their best asset, but it seems to be their worst.
It's the Fed's best asset.
Yeah, because it's like, even when they're trying to wrestle with regular people pertaining to media, like, y'all are criminals and y'all using your criminals' histories and other rivals' criminals' histories in order to make bread. But at the same time, you're incriminating yourself. And even if you're trying to incriminate a competitor, that could end up getting you too. So it is really crazy to see how many years? The last, would be 20 years online? Or 15 years online?
Yeah.
Seeing how many people from different sets that just been, they talk on No Jumper, Adam 22.
Adam 22.
They talk on VAD TV. They talk on Art. They talk on a lot of different platforms. And then some people were like, well, we got to petition these platforms for what? It's not the platform's fault that people who are hired guns end up being easy licks in the age of the internet with pertaining to social media. That they, I guess, are so desperate to make money or to be seen that they'll do what Keefe D, like, for people who remember, because Prince and I was watching all of it, and like Prince said, Art did a great job. We remember how much Keefe D was clout chasing. He had a story about Tupac and this spy and this person, everybody connected to Tupac every episode. Every chance he got on VAD or Art, all he talked about was how Tupac died, the different angles Tupac died, a book on how Tupac died, and that is what he was trying to fix his income on.
Yeah, it is interesting because y'all even saw with No Jumper, Adam 22, who had, I believe, Pop Smoke's one of his killers on there, and he was being interviewed. And so this is like a level of clout chasing gone wrong. You know, when keeping it real goes wrong. Y'all remember that old saying, right? And so Keefe D, of course, one of the, if not the most notorious murderers in hip hop would be Tupac and Biggie Smalls. So having somebody like Keefe D be that attached to, the situation, and then him going on different platforms talking about, how they killed Tupac. And remember, these views were being, huge. And now some people say, well, why would he do that? Well, a lot of these types of high profile guests, they are taking compensation. They're compensated, right? And you got to look at Ari Spears when he's complaining about Vlad TV not paying him or giving him a pay raise, or Lil Bootsy, complaining about Vlad not giving him a pay raise. So Keefe D was also comped in this process, and in that he kept talking. Now, of course, they put it on the dead man, and that's an old street adage going back to damn near, the Italian mafia in Sicily. Okay, so Orlando Anderson is said to have been the trigger man, right? Despite having a shoulder that was supposed to be healing after getting stumped by Tupac and company, right? And I believe they said Orlando Anderson, he might have been a southpaw, if I recall correctly. But whatever the issue was, his shoulder was in a sling, all right? And they were saying how Keefe D puts it is that Orlando Anderson fired the gun or, killed Tupac. But Napoleon from the Outlaws, and I believe Yaki Gaddafi, Tupac's cousin, who also passed away or was murdered, they said they saw a dark-skinned, big arm hanging out the window. Okay. Now, again, the dynamics of who actually did what in that vehicle that night, you're not going to really get the full details because realistically, Keefe D is going to tell the story in the best way where it works for him. You get what I'm saying?
First of all, though, was Keefe even big back then? When he's a big boy to have a big fat black arm in a.
It was I think it was another guy. There was another guy that they said it was, if I recall correctly. All right. You said I heard Will Smith was a gunman. So if I recall, yeah. So I just know they said it was a big arm. Napoleon, I think Napoleon and what is it? Idi Amin. I think Napoleon. I think it's only two of the outlaws left. I think Young Noble. He took himself out of here. I think like last year. But this story here. A lot of the shit we're seeing that's in our generation, a lot of it also has to do with 96 and 97.
Is there anyone that's not dead or in prison that still knows what happened to Pac?
No, everybody, yeah, like Met said, everybody that was in that Cadillac is dead except Keefe D.
I mean, even the...
Oh, you talking about, is anybody that knows what happened, are they walking around?
Yeah.
Let me think. Other than Reggie Wright.
That is true.
Reggie Wright. Let me see. Oh, Floyd Mayweather. You come on now. You know
no,
Floyd. Because Floyd was in interviews talking about. He's gonna
say
hard work.
Why did we? He gonna say why we bring his name up.
Well,
because you know what? Nobody was thinking about him.
But Floyd Mayweather.
Nobody was
his
thinking
name
about
is going
him.
to come up.
Hard work.
Yeah. Y'all watch. Floyd Mayweather's name is going to come up. And we're going to be having his face in another thumbnail.
Well, he kissed the wall. We'll see.
Hard work.
Although sometimes they make you kiss the wall, you still go.
I can't help you. Israel does not care about the death of Tupac Shakur.
No,
all right?
They don't. They got bigger problems.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather, remember in interviews, he said he was, from a bird's eye view, he saw the shooting because he was in a hotel or he was at a loft at the time. And Floyd kept going around and saying, like other people, he was going around in other interviews saying, so then when he got confronted, he was like, no, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Wow.
All right, let's see. What, y'all saying Glasses was there?
Oh, he's saying the only people that was around. I guess that's what still Goku was saying.
Glasses ain't gonna do that.
Nah, he minding his business.
That ain't gonna happen,
focus
niggas.
on other things.
All right. But yeah, so we'll see where it goes with Keefe D right now. Suge Knight, I believe he said he still would be called for it, but he's saying keep him out of it. But they said they have 200 witnesses, or 200 names, better yet, that they have considered. We'll see if that also includes the likes of, a Snoop Dogg or all of the usual suspects, Reggie Wright and all these other people as well. But yes, right now in the Saturnian cycle, the Tupac murder investigation, there is now an official trial, and, Keefe D has always maintained that it was his nephew, Orlando.
Nephew.
Yeah, we got paperwork, Orlando Anderson. And again, we don't know how far the conversation is going to go because y'all seen Whack 100 was talking about Future being chased through the airport, that he left Sierra holding the bags, and that he threw the phone. And then when that information came up again through the Fed's official documentation of a recall account, then Whack said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Also, Maul is double dipping. He's doing a great job playing both sides.
What'd he say?
With Jay-Z and Drake, because Rory and Maul reviewed Dirt's video pertaining to Rock Nation and Rock Nation takedown of Drake, and also the subpoenas and the law firm. And I'm going to play the clip here real quick, and then everybody can say what they think about this.
I want to give it a proper 2 watches to really get into the entire thing. Now, I have been, for the last 5, no, more than that, maybe 7 years, I was one of the first people that said 30 for 30 freestyle has nothing to do with Meek Mill. That's 100% about Jay-Z. I definitely have always felt like there's some behind-the-scenes tension, whether it's true or not. But this does a whole deep dive into AI websites that are doing smear campaigns, Desiree's lawyer team, also involved with Stake and Fanatics, and it's just a whole gambling mess. Then you add in Gamma, Larry Jackson, and I don't know, it could be true.
Yeah, no, it definitely could be true.
Here's the thing, I am a Hovenger. Being a Hovenger makes me fully understand that Jay-Z is a ruthless businessman. I don't think in 2026, any businessman or woman at the level of Jay and Dez are not playing behind-the-scene games. If you listen to Jay-Z, back to just listening to what rappers have to say, they're telling you who they are. Jay has always played behind the scenes. Whether you agree with it or not, and I really don't know if any of this is true. And
Right.
As much as we joke, and I think you guys give Rock Nation way too much credit of how they control the world, but they do also manage Meg, and they have.
Well, before I play the rest, I was gonna say Rory and Maul sound a little nervous. I feel like they're trying to figure out a way how to talk about it without getting in trouble. You wanted me to play a little bit more before we dissect what they're
just
saying?
to break it up because of the whole copyright and everything. But yeah,
they got copyrights for their clips?
Yeah, I think they're on YouTube as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
You're right.
But we can break it up along the way. But okay, so yes, to your point, Sin, you're sensing the same thing I'm sensing. A lot of people are kind of nervous about this conversation because now you're moving away from the dynamics of fan wars. And this goes into what Sin and I talked about, that there was an issue between Jay-Z and Drake since we could argue as early as 2015. We started covering it in 2017 and 18. We've had erroneous people from the industry reach out to us and say either we were tripping or folks was telling us behind the scenes, no, you guys are 100% spot on.
Oh, yeah, we have a video that we made in 2018. That's up to you, Prince, if you want to show to them the thumbnail and everything. But in 2018, we said there was a competition between Jay-Z and Drake, and that eventually it will be a title fight between them two.
Just a heavyweight title fight.
And we said that it seems like Jay-Z was playing behind the scenes, unbeknownst to Drake. And in that video in 2018, we talked about that there was a possible, setup with Jay-Z and the people that rock with Jay-Z in their competition with Drake. Now, again, back then in 2018, before hip-hop media became more sensitive and, I guess, all this tension, we don't have any evidence or proof that directly, Jay-Z set up Drake when it came to Meek Mill or all those other things. That's just was our theory that we came up with in 2018, that Jay-Z was indeed, doing those things. And fast forward now, even going to the Dirt video pertaining to the subpoenas and the law firms and Larry Jackson. Larry Jackson himself feels somebody is doing something. He hasn't said Rock Nation yet, but he feels that someone is playing games with Gamma and trying to undercut his business. Now, corporate warfare happens all the time, and there could be a possibility when it comes to competition, because we already saw these people in competition before. When Drake was supposed to go over to Tidal, he didn't do it. He went over to Apple, to iTunes. So this has been a ripple effect since that point going now into the present. And it's been a very interesting thing to see. Time will tell what the truth is, because in the video that Dirt did, he did break down the whole law firm and different things like that was taking place with Rock Nation, and also the weird attacks on Larry Jackson, and then also with Gamma. But again, we'll see. What's your thoughts, Prince?
It's just, I don't know, it's very interesting, because this is why a lot of times, we just keep doing what we're doing here, because, look, people out of the industry, or they know these folks directly, it's their job to, protect and also deny. Now, Maul had said at one point in time that there was no issues with Jay-Z and Drake, that they never took shots at each other. They never exchanged blows, and the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
That's why I'm a little disappointed in a few people in the audience. Not everybody, I love y'all, but it's like when some people in the audience got mad at us in favor of industry people, I'm like, what are you talking about? Prince and I don't have any incentive because we're not from the industry, and we've been right like 90% of the time. Someone in the industry would figure out or know what Prince and I know, but they're not going to tell you until the time is right. So at the time when we were saying there is issues with Jay-Z and Drake, and every industry person and platform was saying, no, there's not, and there's no issue. Even when we said there was a bit of an issue with Jay-Z and Lil Wayne before it was cool to talk about, people got mad at that too. So to Prince's point, it's an incentive for industry platforms and podcasts who have these relationships to not say anything at the time and wait to a much later date to start talking about these conversations, like with Rock Nation and OVO, or with Nicki, Birdman, and the rest of them, and Rock Nation and everybody having their issues with each other and allegations, against each other as well. But I'm gonna also send you the trailer as well, and you could play that because I don't think Dirt has any copyright on his thing, so I'm gonna send it to you in a moment.
Yeah, so let me just see something real quick. Just to put this up here.
Oh, you got something that you putting up right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm gonna do on my end. I'm about to send you something.
So look, here's the thing about it. We talked about this on the front end. What was going on with. Let's see here. Let me see if this is the one. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, you. I just lost my phone.
You looking
Okay,
for,
got it.
okay,
Got it. Yeah. So, just to put this up here for y'all, so y'all can see this, and what we were talking about. This is why we say, look, it's going to be up to you all. We always tell you guys, hey, you can do your own research. You can even go listen to other people whose job it is to quote unquote deny. And time and truth reveals all. And for the longest, a lot of times people didn't really want to say that there was an issue publicly between Jay-Z and Drake at that time, because they were kind of like, nah, you guys are tripping. But, we had people tell us, behind the scenes, like, no, you guys are 100% on point, and there is an issue. All right, so let me put this on the screen for you guys so y'all can see.
I can't see. Right. So what you putting on the screen for them?
So you guys can see. And let's see here. Let me see. Autosave. Gotcha. Okay, just to run this up real quick. So y'all can see really, really quick. And, we're going to make this part very brief here so y'all can see. All right, the setup of Drake. All right, and that was 8 years ago, shawty. 8 years ago, all right, and so we covered at that time what was going on with Drake and Jay-Z, and this was right around the time. The same characters, ladies and gents, the same characters, boys and girls.
Yeah, in that video we said that we said our personal opinion. We thought that Nicki and Jay-Z's personalities wouldn't get along. In our video, we was like, I don't think Nicki should go over to the title. I think it's going to be a bad idea. I don't think they'll get along. And we just broke down everything on this video about, the setup and Jay-Z and Drake's competition. And it's like you said, 8 years ago.
Yeah, so just to let y'all know, here it is. This is the video, and here it's called the setup of Drake. And so what we did a very long, and if you look at it, look, man, some of y'all niggas got to get out of that loop. But look, the same characters. Y'all saw the game. You see Kanye West. You see Drake. Let's see here. Who else we got up in here? YG. Look, Pusha T. Hold on, let's go through this one more time, saying Meek Mill. Who else we got on here? Let's see who we got on here. All right, so we got Drake, we got Aubrey, we got, let's see who we got. DJ Khaled, Diddy. All right, let's go down the list one more time. Who else we got? Let's go back down the list. Here we go, women, because these are all of the things that Sin and I put together at the time. Let's see who else is in here, folks. Let's go to this real quick to show you guys how we get down. All right, so we got YG, we got Kanye West, we got The Game in YG. Okay, we got Tory Lanez. Let's see who else we got up in here. All right.
E Dizzle said, "Wow, laughing my ass off." Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
J. Cole. Hold on, Sid. Hold on. Kendrick Lamar. Bimbic Lamar. We got Kendrick Lamar. All right.
we got Tory Lanez.
We got Tory Lanez. We got Meek Mill. Ricky Rose. Hold on, no, Sin. They need to see this. Don't confuse them. They need to see this. Let them, because they got to hear this.
They got to hear
I don't want to nuance you niggas into confusion.
They got to hear the pre-2024 stuff.
All right, this is to show you guys we've never changed. We've been very consistent. All right, there you go. There's Birdman and Lil Wayne. Cash Money is involved in the mix. Uh-oh, now let's go to who is that? Flacco. Not Poetic. We talking about ASAP. Let's go down the list. Let's see why has there been an issue sometimes with us, with some people, okay? All right. Let's see. Let's go down the list. All right.
And that was also, we said back then, 2018.
Look at this.
That he was going to get Julius Caesared.
We said that. Look.
In 2018.
And this is for the OVO niggas, too.
Who be crying about us. Because we don't worship Drake and we don't worship no celebrity.
Nobody, son.
It's never going to happen. It's just not in our DNA.
Fact.
It's not in our DNA.
I didn't even worship Creflo. Now hold it here so y'all can get a better understanding for you wonderful new people from the think tank that came in with us in 2024. Folks, we told Aubrey 2 times the boy better duck publicly. Even a little bit around this time, we had one called Drake's Last Dance publicly. This is right before Pusha comes outside.
And we said also that they were going to ruin his Adidas deal.
It happened. He didn't have a shoe with Adidas. Riri and Nicki. All right, let's go down the list. Hold on, Sam. You know what? I'm just going to scroll past this. So people, there we go. Who's in the middle on the screen? You got Jay-Z, Future, Drake.
I got the keys. I'm about to shoot him a chip.
Now, were we saying Jay is to blame for anything at this time? No, the only thing Sid and I said that Jay-Z and Drake, there's issues there.
Well, no, we did say that Jay-Z was trying to set up Drake.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that part.
Yeah, we said that, Jay-Z, again, we don't have no evidence. Rock Nation people don't come for us or cry about us. But,
there were movements, though, after the fallout of the deal.
In 2018, yeah, that's what we said. We said, this was corporate competition and that Jay-Z wanted to come for the newcomer, which was Drake for the throne. Because
also Drake, now where Rory is on point at is what we talked about around the time where Drake responded. And Drake, let me say, one part is I didn't take it that serious, and one part is acting. Because Drake clearly knew something was going on with Jay-Z with the 30 for 30 shit.
Film said, we got the receipts, nephew.
We got the tapes. Nephew, we got the tapes. We got content. Look. All right. So this was 8 years ago. Kendrick Lamar is right there. Meek Mill. Hold on. Let's see who else going to pop up on this B-roll. Let's see.
Take your time. There's a lot of people.
Hold on, y'all. So y'all can see we ain't tripping. Rick Ross, a fatter Rick Ross. Let's see. Pusha T. Let's see. Survey shares. Pusha T again. Survey shares. Hold on, Sin. Let's look at this. Wayne and Birdman, Cash Money, Survey shares.
Oh, we was getting some nice donations, too.
Look at that.
On that
DJ video. Khaled. Survey says Khaled and Diddy. Hold on, let's get to it. Flacco. Survey says. Look, y'all.
Tay said, how did we call this? We were just paying attention.
Hold on before you go.
Oh, I was going to, okay.
Survey says here on the screen right now, Jimmy Iovine.
What?
Jimmy Iovine is right here.
Mr. Superfans?
Jimmy Iovine is right here. Look, it is what it is. All right. Look, folks, man, there ain't nothing. There's nothing to clout chase here with us, folks. I mean, if you want to be real, the real clout chase is speaking highly favorable and continue on with the narratives. I just a lot of times don't find it all that interesting. I like to do the investigative work, and that's what Sin and I really did. We was doing hard work.
You want to also play the trailer for them on the Dirt thing so we can explain the subpoena? It's the trailer part that he put out for the video that we want to explain to everybody. And also the first caller in yesterday's stream, also Filmtown, asked about also the Dirt video as well. But also Dom.
Wait, the game.
We had the game.
There's the game in there. We said the game is going to play a role, and this was 8 years ago again.
And also shout out to Doms from Trinidad and Tobago. She said cue the X-Files music first. She's right.
You're right about that. Let us be quiet for a second here.
Alrighty then.
So you guys kind of get an idea of what we were talking about when we said what we said. That's why I'm not trying to be funny, and I do know, and now we keep the thing moving, but we've seen people try to be cute with, some of our language and how we talk, and they're like, well, we just gonna take this and third. Y'all black asses gotta go back. Y'all gotta go back 8 years though. Y'all gonna have to time travel and call it when it was highly unfavorable. At this time, now remember,
at this time, everybody was trying to be with Jay-Z and them.
Everybody.
They was trying to be with everybody.
Yes.
That's why people be like, why don't nobody talk about Rock Nation right now? I'm like, but y'all didn't. For the people who had media back then, y'all did not care.
No.
Y'all did not. We got to pop champagne. Oh, we got to
pop champagne.
And now Rock Nation got even more power. People like, yo, man. Yeah. Yo, we got to get everybody on board.
The industry niggas heard this. We had people reach out to us, and the reason why we kept doing what we were doing at the time, we had industry people reach out to us and say, you guys are 100% spot on. They said they don't know how this is going to play out in the public, but behind the scenes, they said you guys are calling everything. It's the same people, the same characters. The same characters that are tied to this grand event, especially when it went into 2024, and now look where we are now. So that's why when people tried to bring me a white psychic, because black niggas can be spiteful sometimes when you correct on their asses, they were coming to us
with
saying,
Sloan Bella, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, okay, so if we lying, why y'all picking sides?
Yeah, Sloan Bella, it would a lot of, even the black audience, all types of audience keep doing this with this channel and playing
Niggas
games.
was being spiteful because we were correct.
They said Thought Crime, Sloan predicted Diddy. No, she
didn't. What, you mean 8 years ago?
You talked about Diddy 8 years ago and said this was going to happen to him.
What are you talking about?
Just like we said, whether Tory was innocent or not, we said that he was going to go to prison. When a lot of hip-hop platforms said zero chance he was going to go to prison, we said, look, based off of what we're looking at here, he's going to prison. Now, whether he gets out or not, that's up in the air, but he's going to prison. We said that the game was going to diss Rick Ross without any industry connection, and that's what he did. But
and look, and just to say this, and we're going to go to the trailers here. Here's the thing. Look, y'all see, just to put this up real quick, you got YG up here. You got Game up here. Tory Lanez is up here. ASAP Rocky is up here. Rihanna, Nicki Minaj. They all circulating back in the same space. And guess what the conflict of interest is? Drake and Jay-Z, as we said 8 years ago. Look, I'm just keeping it real. I love us, but sometimes, especially in rap media, when people get it right and they don't look like they're white folks, or they don't look like they are tied to your favorites in the industry, we can be very spiteful. Especially the real issue for Sid and I, a lot of times, we're independent.
Also, no, Tay, we didn't call Tory 8 years ago.
No.
It's when hip hop media first said that Tory wasn't going to go to jail, and we had B More look at his chart and Megan's chart and their synergy chart, and B More predicted that he was 100% going to go to prison. Then we talked about transits with prison breaks and all this other stuff. But no, that didn't. The Tory thing didn't happen 8 years ago. That was like at the beginning of all the
Tory was like what 4?
hectic stuff with him. But
anybody with damn common sense could see that he was going to be in some trouble. You get what I'm saying? This is something else. We're not talking about Tory.
E Dizzle said, y'all the only ones that said 50 was helping Drake in the battle.
Niggas, and spiteful niggas. I love us, but we do got some porcupine built niggas that were being spiteful because it said y'all two niggas. The answer is no, or they saying, well, I don't think that. I said, okay, whatever. Just like when Sin and I said early on, game is going to present a very huge problem in the future.
And this is why we said, like most people, which is fine, they're building up their hip hop equity based off of our theories. Like, fine, whatever. But when Big Bank take Little Bank and something happens with y'all, you can't cry and say, "Oh, this is what happened to black people," because we have just as many black industry people who try to put their hand in our cookie jar, just as any other group.
Oh man, no.
No Diddy.
Yeah, no cookie hole.
No cookie hole Diddy.
So,
like Prince said, I don't have to have no allegiance to either side. I don't know these people personally. And we're just going to keep on the narrations and the stories unbiasedly that we told even back in 2018. There are entities that are pressuring Jay-Z. And there are also entities that are pressuring Drake. And there are also entities that are pressuring Kendrick. And we're going to keep it going in the conversation, and we're going to have more breakdowns and everything for you guys without instigation because as Prince said, meeting what's his name again?
Kevin Powell.
Meeting Kevin Powell, in our minds, we want to be careful. I do not want to cause no instigation for anybody's lives or be bloodthirsty and all that. I just want to curate the story as accurate as humanly possible for us not being inside the industry and try to get things as accurate as possible. While also, like Prince said, we have to be confident, we can't change our narrations just because industry people in a moment, like what Maul, for example, did when he said there was no issues with Drake and Jay-Z or Memphis and all that. I mean, maybe down the line, you never know. Maybe Drake and Jay-Z may make peace. You never know. But we can't be running around here lying and switching up our commentary just based off what industry people want and what they say. But go ahead, Prince.
So again, there you go. It's the setup of Drake. Drake new diss track, the coup d'etat Jay-Z. And again, just to show people to be on point. Because, look, we had all type of, folks get tight, whether they were hardcore pro-Kendrick. Every time I looked up, it was a pro-Kendrick fan or stan blocking us on Twitter. I didn't even see you niggas, right? And then the same
Drake
thing.
stan blocking us.
Yeah, it was that too.
Or
and
pro-Jay-Z person blocking us.
The only thing is, brother, the only thing that's changed is that the niggas actually officially fought each other. But our commentary for 8 years has pretty much been the same. We've covered a bunch of other shit, but we've always said in hip hop, this is going on in the background.
We said
all of this was going on in the background.
We even said years ago when and if Kendrick and Drake got into it, we said that Kendrick was going to win.
Yes, as a lyricist.
As a lyricist.
Yes.
And we also talked about Jay-Z allegedly, setting up Drake a lot of times, and Drake not really getting what's going on or why. What is this higher authority people keep going to over him? Even Gay went to Hove over Drake. So
Drake was building up his equity at that time, and now there's rumored that he's actually like a billionaire, or they may say he has multiple billions. So to the point, I think Drake feels a more sense of empowerment than where he was 8 years ago. But he did at some point started kind of hinting to some issues as well. The only reason why, just wanted to highlight this situation for people that may have just tapped in with us in 2024 and thinking man, y'all changing up. No, nigga, we've always talked like this. And the reason why I can't really get on anybody's surfboard, no Beyonce or Jay-Z.
Surfboard, riding on that.
But
riding on that. I'm surfing on that.
If we told y'all... I'll give you another example for those that have been listening to us for the past 8 years. If CN and I told you all that a certain washed up white actor was found to be connected with a certain imprisoned R&B artist, right? And there are things circulating on the streets, and they are there. If some people that were there and remember that conversation, and then let's just say, not too long ago, a popular actor by the name of Charlie Sheen came out and said he revealed publicly that he's bisexual. And he also said what? That, because of his bisexuality, that they were trying to extort him because they had him on tape. Those are not the tapes you were allegedly on.
Now, with the Charlie Sheen thing, that didn't come from us. You know,
right.
we're very honest on this channel of what comes directly from us, whether us paying attention to lyrics or whatever we do, and when it comes from somebody else. So the Charlie Sheen thing did not come from us, but it was true.
It was true.
We said
because,
it. We reported on it, and it turns out that the tape he allegedly was on, that we have no access to, that he was bisexual, and we reported on that. And that he was not just bisexual, but he was doing a lot of deviant stuff allegedly, too.
But he says it in his memoir that, he confirmed his bisexuality. Again, that's his business, his life. But them tapes, that's another conversation. Just like, said R. Kelly was held up in the club. And, we love our artists, but at the time, there was a lot of pro R. Kelly heads that were getting tight with us. Dark crimes, shut the fuck up, niggas.
Yeah, also,
right?
to add to that point, pretending to who is a billionaire and who's not, Prince and I can't vouch for that, two-faced Tom, because you're saying you don't think Drake is a billionaire. I don't know who has money and who doesn't, and that's one thing that we usually don't. I don't think we ever did any predictions on that because that's not our forte. I don't know what anybody's bank account is looking like. We just know what strategic plays most of the time is going to happen in the industry by trying to pay attention as best as possible and different things like that.
Well, no, as far as
purportedly,
just to go back Two-Face Tom, it's not. I'm gonna be real with you, play. It's not even about what you think. Remember, Forbes, you can opt into reporting to Forbes. Remember, they did it with one of the Jenners. She was like, "Oh, I'm a billionaire," and then turned out it was nothing. It was ghastly conflated to raise the visibility of the profile of their brand for other deals and much more money to come. Like 40 said, if I don't look like I got money, how they gonna give it to me? You get what I'm saying? So with that being the case, though, at this point in time, it seems like things are a little bit different. But again, for those individuals that may have just tapped in with thought crimes in 2024, and you feeling like, oh no, this is what sin means. This is our consistency. Look, we told you guys stuff was going on in the background. Here we are 8 years later, and again, sometimes us can be a little spiteful because when it lands, people start bringing up white CIA psychics. Okay,
just to be real, right, Prince? That Forbes do be wrong.
Yeah, Forbes. That's what I said. Like, so for
that's
me,
why I don't know who has money, who's not. I don't know that. I don't know. We don't.
No, I'm not interested in that. But we have paid attention to the idea that Kendrick and Drake were not as attached to their parenting label as they once were, which is why you saw them directly fight each other. Because I'm going to be honest with you, they like two scratchy cats that been waiting to scratch each other up for 10 years. And then when they finally got a chance to go, they went at each other. But a lot of people were putting things on pause. Kendrick wanted to get at Drake, but other fighters were stepping up. Meek Mill stepped up. A lot of other niggas, Pusha T stepped up, all right? So, then it eventually happened. It happened. That's why Sin and I brought up yesterday, and I went into further detail about the real story. The bigger story that was tied to the 100 video was Diddy fighting Drake, more so than Drake directly subbing Kendrick, because that was all over TMZ. That was all in the news about Diddy and Drake fighting in the club over the 0 to 100 beat.
And then allegedly a contract being put out on Drake as well at that time. That Prince is going to do a video that's going to drop tomorrow on that. But also moving forward, we're about to talk about the trailer from Dirt that Mal and Rory was talking about.
All right, I want you go ahead and I'm gonna get to it. Just give me some time to pull it up, Sam.
You want me to put my headsets on?
Yeah, no, give me time to pull it up too, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, just to let everybody know, we got Mr. Z merch out there, by the way. Y'all make sure y'all go check it out, Mr. Z. Also, we'll see what happens with the game. People allegedly saying the game is coming back outside.
Homie, it's game time.
He's ready to battle. Mac Wop said that, Kendrick isn't going to pay any attention. They allege that J-Rock is going to come back outside. possibly to respond to the game. I usually Prince and I would give predictions on those type of things, but we're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait on those things. The most that we may say ahead is gonna be on the Patreon, but we're not gonna go all out putting all of our predictions on YouTube anymore. A lot of that stuff is gonna be on the Patreon.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some stuff that we happen to call during our streams, that's what we'll do. I mean, there's not really much anybody, it's not no sides here. That's why we showed you guys 8 years ago. We've been very consistent with everything, and the same characters are involved in this hip-hop melee, all right? And we told you guys that there were some issues. Now, if some of y'all in media are crying now about, like, it's just too much, try being in our position 8 years ago when Jay-Z and Beyonce and Drake and all of these people were looked at much differently in the public eye, including Drake. You get what I'm saying? So that's why it sounded unbelievable. It sounded like two niggas playing with action figures on the microphone. All right? But now y'all see all of those same characters that we purported 8 years ago are all in conflict today. All right down to a T.
So we're gonna put our headsets on. We're gonna take a listen. Also, like we said, warning. We do not care about the stand bases. I do not care about y'all crying. I do not care about the people who blocked us. Okay, this platform. I'm gonna reiterate it one more time before we play this trailer. Is not to worship any celebrity. And the only time I will become biased if I'm actually fucking friends with somebody, okay? We would have to be friends. I would have to have a personal relationship with you to do all this fucking work. I have no personal relationship with none of y'all, so it's going to stay non-biased. So go ahead, Prince.
Yeah, and even with a personal relationship, it wouldn't matter to me. All right.
Come on. I was gonna say, Prince, don't sit up here and be fronting. You know if somebody was your friend, you would not be talking about their business online.
All right.
Come on now.
So, all right, let's go.
Because Reform Alliance said it themselves. Their own website said Reed Smith will be on hand to help with expungement. Expungement is when they erase the records from your criminal history, wipe them entirely. And do you guys remember PR Newswire, the paid wire service website that Impressa used to blast out the Drake lawsuit right in the middle of his rollout? I looked into their full history on it. Out of every case Impressa Legal Group has ever handled, do you know how many times they've used that website for a press release? Twice. Only twice, and both times it was to announce a lawsuit against Drake. One for Virginia, one for New Jersey. Now guess who uses PR Newswire all the time? Guess who has a whole account for announcing their biggest initiatives? Rock Nation and Reform Alliance. Rock Nation pays PR Newswire constantly. Pretty much everything Jay-Z does gets pushed through it, including that exact Virginia job fair in October 2024. So basically, a tiny firm that had never touched PR Newswire suddenly used the exact same paid platform Rock Nation lives on to run a national smear on Drake, using lawyers who came out of the exact same law firm that Rock Nation uses, representing plaintiffs who benefited from Rock Nation's probation laws, many of them blood relatives, in a gambling lawsuit that's somehow really about the authenticity of Drake's streams and music executives getting talked about. Again, I'll leave this information.
All right, so that is the trailer that Maul and Rory were talking about concerning Rock Nation and this outfit on the business dynamic of what's been going on between Rock Nation, Gamma, Drake, and Larry Jackson, and there seems to be this reoccurring theme that, again, has been talked about dealing with business.
Yeah,
Maul
right?
And this is why we talked about the real estate. And you can play the rest of what Rory and Maul was saying. So we were using this. This is a trailer by Worse to Dirt. And this is the trailer that they're actually referencing in the conversation. And this is making its rounds all over the internet because it's kind of moved beyond the conversation of rapper versus rapper. And it goes to the crux of usually most riffs in the industry, which is business, money, and commercial real estate.
All right, now let me go further into Rory and Maul. Here we go.
This shit is dog eat dog. Like, yeah, sometimes you have to play ghetto games behind the scenes in that type of environment. And in this day and age, smear campaigns, bots, like that's the new business extortion to some degree. So again, I'm not saying Jay's doing it or even cares about what some bloggers, streamers, or whatever are saying about him. It's not above anyone at this point. Like even with
So Rory was saying that if it's true, he don't think that Jay-Z cares anyway. Because he personally feels that Jay-Z's at a state where he just don't care anymore about trying to look good in front of people. And then Maul, it seemed like he was saying that I'm open if there's more information, but it's also very interesting that this is happening because Memphis Bleak was on Rory and Maul's platform saying that he doesn't have any issues with Drake or Jay-Z doesn't have any issues with Drake.
Well, I don't know. You know, we know Memphis Bleak is going to ride with Jay-Z until the wheels fall off. One of the best retirement plans in hip-hop, actually. But with that being the case, Jay-Z also said that, you know, he's above dissing. There was no need for battling in hip-hop and all this other stuff. And look, people have to learn to separate what goes on in the media space. Everybody got their working parts. Some people, their job is to cover their favorite artist or team. And their job is going to make sure they do white propaganda, which is going to be good, positive propaganda. Fluff pieces, all right? Remember, you don't have to really pay for PR firms like you used to back in the day. You know, all you can do is hire some clippers and tag a few YouTubers or people that have visible social media profiles.
Charlemagne said the PR teams are still very strong, though.
Where they,
because he was claiming, Charlemagne, that Drake was using a lot of PR firms and teams to do things to Jay-Z and Roc Nation. That's what Charlemagne was claiming.
No, traditional PR firms, they're having to switch over to what's going on in tech right now.
No, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but Charlemagne was talking about how, you know, Drake was using even traditional PR firms.
They say he using AI websites. I mean, what we talking about, niggas? So
I will say, though, Rory and Maul did, more so Rory, he did seem scared.
Well,
like
because,
Maul is sneaky because he's like, I'm close with Drake,
right?
And I have someone who's close to Jay-Z who's related to me. I'm good either way. Yeah. Rory's like, I mean, there are corporate warfares, but you know, he was like.
If you guys think, just to put this up here, and we're going to go back to Rory and Maul, and again, that was y'all can check the video out by What's the Dirt. He put this up there about what's been going on with Gamma, and he insert Larry Jackson's into this conversation,
which is what is people are paying attention to and really fascinated about is the Larry Jackson Gamma situation, and then the Roc Nation law firm. Those are the two nuggets there that a lot of people are talking about.
Sid and I, what we talked about on this channel, we did call Drake at the time Jon Snow. And we said Drake is going to run into a grand crucifixion publicly. All right? And like Sin talked about it, about flying out to Wyoming, we said that would be a mistake. Right? He goes out to Wyoming. Then there's history from there with Pusha T. Said Drake is going to run into a real grand crucifixion. Now, we had a bunch of OVO owls that was in the chat. Wonderful people when they happy and donating. They said, but thought crimes, what they tell us, said, why y'all wishing this on Drake? We said, hey, pimps and pimpettes, it's not us, but the boy is going to get crucified publicly.
But they are crybabies when somebody says something that they don't like about Drake, but that's all the stand bases.
Like, all of the niggas do that. They all do that. They neither one. If you pro Jay, Kendrick, Drake, Nicki, Cardi, none of y'all are special when something unfavorable is said about your guy or gal. Y'all are not unique. Nobody's unique.
Because also,
y'all all react the same.
People are clamoring only as if, you know, Drake is in a position where stuff is happening, but, you know, some of the predictions I made on Patreon, I think that weird stuff is happening around Kendrick as well.
Well,
You know,
because
as you
he's
even
the
see with, you know, the game situation and what.
well, what we talked about in 2024, Sid and I, we did say that that's a real situation there, you know, and I think the play for a lot of people that know these folks was to deny and just like
let it all fester until they can figure out a way to explain it better. Yeah.
Not on the internet. And we said that the caveat is this: it's not just Drake. He's just the biggest name attached to this shit. But all of them have the potential to be usurped somewhere because it's real estate. That's what you're dealing with, commercial real estate. There are literal media conglomerates that are tied to Drake, Kendrick, Jay-Z, all right, even into some degree with J. Cole. Now, J. Cole's situation, he doesn't necessarily come through empowerment through podcast hip-hop heads. This is why you saw him make his tour on more independent podcasters that were more favorable towards him in his album, even during the battle and post the battle.
Well, he got beat up the most because he doesn't really have too many heads in media yet.
No, he
do
doesn't.
have some people. We see them. We know that they're building up their equity online and in media. They are from the industry, even though they pretend to be independent. All of the heads that represent Drake, Cole, and Jay-Z and Kendrick and all that. But the interesting thing about this, though, as you pointed out, Prince, also with the corporate competition and all these other things, is how is this going to all end up, you know, where we talked about 2018, the alleged sabotaging of Drake and his business deals. You know, we said in 2018, you know, one of the things they do for their angle when going after him is they usually try to tear him away from certain partnerships.
Yes,
and
they do.
You know,
they tear. No, she's
and
right.
they do the takeover, like what you saw with you know the story of Adidon, and then Drake lost his Adidas deal.
Yes,
but you've also had people try to play mafia games not only against Drake but also against Kendrick Lamar.
Yes,
and that's
absolutely.
something we talked about also in 2024.
We highlighted that in 2024.
And when GNX came out on Whacked Out Merles, we talked about, you know, what our perception was of what it meant pertaining to that with the different gangs. And also there was a Merle out there in Cali that kept getting people kept violating it and all this other stuff.
Yeah, they said it was tortilla flats and all of them.
Allegedly all type of stuff. We don't know.
They kept whacking out his mural, almost like they were trolling the record after he made the statement.
Right, allegedly, but we don't know what particular faction. But that is what we thought and perceived for the GNX album pertaining to that song Whacked Out Merles. Just like when we heard on Iceman and Firm Friends and also Make Them Remember and all that. It was like obviously he was talking about contracts and stuff and people putting hits out on him, even in Firm Friends. I think it was Firm Friends where he talked about he didn't want his head being splattered up on, you know, on Mrs. Kennedy and all this other stuff where he was playing with that word and scheme. So y'all can go listen to that too and also go back and listen to GNX. And then also listen to the fall off of what J. Cole saying he trying to get the fuck out the way.
Well, because for J. Cole, you got to keep this in mind. And this is why it was important when we did the breakdown with the game situation. At that time when 2015, the energy was not where it is today. We're in 2026, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a great point. Yeah, when people...
The energy, when people are talking about 2015, y'all are acting like the energy we're feeling today, this is how it always was. No, in 2015, the energy actually was a lot lighter.
No, Prince is right. Like, even sometimes the people in the comment section be like, well, hip-hop has always been competitive. Look, back then, even in 2018, we was here in hip-hop media. Nobody was getting into fights with each other about Drake and Jay-Z.
No.
People were saying who they thought was more corrupt or who they thought was innocent or whose side
they debated on. Catalog.
Yeah, some people was like, or even like what was taking place. Some people was like, I'm for Drake, you know, Jay-Z or old head trying to take him out. Some people said, I'm for Jay-Z. You know, I don't know about this dude. He's this biracial guy. And everybody was having their opinions. No clipping. No one crying about just random YouTubers and industry people on YouTube opinions pertaining to
to that point, it was
Jay-Z and Drake. Like, no
Just to
one
say
gave a
that.
fuck in 2018.
Well, that's because in 20, so what is that, 8 years ago? So you're saying that's 2018, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot less industry online in this space. I want to be clear about it. That's why I said it was lighter back then. So at the most, you were going to debate whether you liked Drake or Kendrick as rappers. That's it, as rappers.
But people
Right.
talked about the internal affairs stuff without attacking each other too. They did. They talked about, even like when we was talking about going back to Suge Knight and stuff all the time on multiple, like usually when people on YouTube got into it, most of the time in hip hop, it was something personal. Now, like it wasn't because of over.
Well, it's a lot more rigid and stiff today.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's
over,
a lot more rigid and stiff, and then people keep talking about who's switching up or who's getting checks from TDE, or you getting an OVO check, or did somebody reach out to you? That wasn't a conversation in 2018. It was more open source. If a story came out like when Beanie Siegel came out and he told that elaborate story about Meek Mill, and when you rolled over and you looked at Nicki Minaj and you asked her, did you fuck this nigga Drake? And she told you no, you knew she was lying. And everybody in rap music laughed about it because Beanie Siegel was so absurd.
No,
with
to
the
the
story.
point, it was very fun. There's some people who would be like, Drake don't write his shit. You know what happened? People would talk about it. No one would get clipped up with crybaby industry people in their bots, clipping everybody the fuck up and saying, oh, why are you saying this? People would say, man, Drake does write his shit. Nobody would clip that up either and get all crying about that. Nobody would clip if you had something positive or negative to say about Kendrick and be all of a crybaby about that. The list goes on and on and on. Of the atmosphere was much different. Now that there's so many industry people in the independent space, it's like on all sides. This is it's like very aggy, intense energy, and they also trying to take over their own real estate in independent media, as well. So there are people who have that incentive. But to go back to the video pertaining to the trailer of Rock Nation and subpoenas and different things like that. It also reminds me of what Tommy Dorfman said on our show. Do you still have the trailer up for that too? Where Tommy was talking about Live Nation and Rock Nation?
Well, you go ahead. You continue talking. I'll find it. I'll pull it up.
Okay, Prince will find it. But y'all know what I'm talking about, especially Thought Crimes, the old, OGs of the think tank. Y'all know that the people who usually got in arguments on YouTube was gender war people.
they were really the strongest.
The only two groups that got in it with each other on YouTube was gender war people and pro-black. So in the pro-black space, you will have like pro-black politics, and they would argue with each other and fight with each other, like
SETI versus Young Pharaoh.
Yeah, or Dr. Boyce Watkins versus this person, and then you would have in the manosphere or feminist space or women go their own way, whatever. They will argue with each other back and forth, and that'll be it. But
don't forget the other ones. Are you a swirler?
That's in the gender war.
Yeah.
But hip hop media, though, people would just talk about anybody in rap, pro or negative, positive or con, and it wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, so again, just to let you guys know that, this has been going on. And as you guys can see, the same characters for the most part are all involved. You saw Game, YG, Rick Ross, Pusha T, Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, Rihanna, Nicki. And there's this great grand clash that's been happening, for some time right now. It is what it is, but we just, at least try to let people know that, there hasn't really been anything. We've just been consistent. That's probably more so in this situation for all of this real estate that's going on. If you've been kind of just very consistent and you're not doing it because for some people, there was a grand switch in 2024. I want to be clear about that. There are people that have been doing their thing before 2024 and they've just been chilling, right? But then there have been people, for the most part, there's like a grand switch that took place, and people kind of went to their spaces where they can kind of feel they can make more money, you know. But, you know, for us, we just keep it the way we've always been keeping it, which is thought crimes. All right?
Yeah, I agree, because it's not. I'm not here to not have fun.
Yeah.
You know, people already have stress when it comes to politics.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, the entertainment field does bleed over into politics at times, but you know, hip hop, as a hip hop media platform, hip hop was a space where we mostly had fun. You know, when you get drained constantly talking about bad policies and legislations and talking about the possibility of Trump being assassinated before it happened, you know, like I think it's 2020 we did a mini documentary on the possibility of an inside job against Donald Trump. And those were the things that, yeah, we brought comedy into that, but it was like, oh God, more stress, you know, policies that screwing people over.
It kept getting worse and worse.
Even when we was
lighten up,
when
niggas.
Obama went to Flint, Michigan, pretended to drink the water. You know, those were the things that was a little bit stressful, but we was like, we'll try to lighten it up for people. But hip hop is supposed to be a space where you could just freely do water cooler talk. And now, because so many industry people are here and this corporate takeover and competition is happening with certain people, it's ruining the atmosphere of the fun part of being a part of hip hop media.
Yeah, but seeing that, we still having fun, but we are seeing people getting stressed out about it, you know. But, you know, just to let everybody know, and for those people, you know, this is your time tapping in with us. And for some people, we got people that are like, man, I've been rocking with y'all for 2 years. You know, that's cool. We just let you guys know, look, we've kind of always just talked like this, all right? That's just how we talk, you know. We're not really playing for a bunch of different sides of things of that nature. We're just letting you guys know, you know, probably not to get so caught up in like what you think the storyline is, because you'll find out, you know, when you get, you know, when more stuff starts coming out, people get upset and they're like, oh, I believe this. And it's unfortunate, but go outside, niggas. Anyway, we're about to play this trailer here dealing with the Live Nation with the one and only Tommy Dorfman. Again, you guys should be able to follow him. That's TOMMY Dorfman, DORFMAN. You guys should check him out. He's been having a 16-year fight with Live Nation.
Also, eventually we will be having a review of Dime a Dozen as well. And also make sure you check out Dwan B. His Miles Davis series on his Patreon is so amazing and dope. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. But also, we're going to get Tommy Dorfman back on the show again. We're going to run it back because Tommy got a lot to say about Live Nation. But let's play this trailer.
Thought crimes.
A landmark federal antitrust trial against Ticketmaster parent company Live Nation got underway this week with the first witness testifying today. The Justice Department, multiple state attorneys general, and Washington, D.C. in 2024 initially filed the suit against Ticketmaster and Live Nation. It alleges they've illegally dominated the live concert industry by monopolizing tickets, bookings, venues, and promotions.
This morning, the way fans buy tickets for concerts could be changing forever, as a jury in New York finds Live Nation acted as an illegal monopoly. Dozens of states sued Live Nation and its subsidiary Ticketmaster, claiming they illegally dominated major concert venues and kept ticket prices too high.
Breaking news, a verdict has been reached in the antitrust trial against entertainment giant Live Nation. A jury found Live Nation unfairly created a monopoly over the ticket market.
Live Nation owns Ticketmaster. So any global tours, Ticketmaster's, and like if you're buying tickets from Ticketmaster, you're paying Live Nation. And Rock Nation, Live Nation, same thing. Live Nation owns all these subsidiaries, so it's Live Nation Entertainment. So I was hoping an artist might speak out. I wasn't thinking they would, but I figured I would take a shot at it, you know? But I respect them for not speaking out. I get why they don't, you know? It ruins their career, and, you know they want to perform for their fans, but their fans are getting ripped off. And on the side, I will tell you, though, some of the artists do reach out to me. And some of them, I won't name them because I never do that. And as I say, anybody reaches out to me with anything, it's confidential, and that's how it works.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Thought Crimes. This is your girl, Sincere, and I'm here with...
Yo, this is your man, Prince Solomon, in the building, folks. And right now, we have a special guest. We're going to be talking to Tommy Dorfman. He's been going back and forth battling Live Nation. And he's also going to be breaking down how he's been able to have to deal with this situation. What does this mean for artists and all the ins and outs? And basically, it's a mafia. Matter of fact, it's larger than the mafia. It's 2 sets of books and everything of that nature.
It's a cartel.
It's a cartel.
And you're about to hear Tommy break down his life, his background, and we get into all the background information on what's taking place. And also, please, make sure you show Tommy support because he is going up against a giant.
Thought Crimes.
It's on our YouTube as well, our interview and conversation with Tommy Dorfman. We're going to have him come back to the show as well. And we have 2 super chats, Prince.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Also, shouts out to Innovator Jay. Says, damn, Thought Crimes got me feeling old. Been watching y'all so long, done seen Brother Polite go to jail and Young Pharaoh lose his mind. Yeah, I saw Young Pharaoh with the long nails, y'all. He had the wop, 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 wop nails. So I saw a lot of heartbroken women under his comments. Oh my God, Young Pharaoh! But yeah, shouts out to Innovator Jay. We appreciate you as always. And also, Ducendo says, I've been rocking with y'all. I even got the OG t-shirt. Keep it up. We appreciate you so much. Thank you guys. And we humbly accept all of you all's gifts and donations and supports, things of that nature. And when I say gifts, I'm talking about the love, the compliments. Those are gifts. People to be able to give that to you. So with that being the case, as you guys know, we always try to, keep it interesting for you guys and, let you guys know that, look, you can have fun with all of this wonderful, beautiful entertainment that the Illuminati has blessed us with, but also at the same time, not to get too lost in any of the sauce. But we appreciate you guys so much. Thank y'all so much. Long-term supporters.
Also, thank you also to Gentile. He said that was a good interview. Thank you.
Yes.
Again, the Tommy Dorfman interview and conversations on our YouTube channel. And also, we have a lot more of documentaries and stuff on the Patreon. Our 2017 documentary called The Circle of Power, where we talked about Epstein, Ghislaine, and their friends. Also, going to 38, he says the industry destroyed their space, and
I already know what you're about to say.
Rather than rebuilding, they just want to take over the independent space. Unfortunately, that is the case. The bad behavior can't stop. I don't think people cared because we knew years ago that they were eventually going to come, but yeah. I don't think nobody cares that they're here. It's just that controlling takeover spirit that destroyed their own space. Now they're trying to bring it into the independent space, and it's just really the dynamic of it is it's so fucking weird. Also, Filmtown said I still got my Patreon coffee mug. Oh, we're gonna be bringing that back too. Eventually, we got some new designs, so. The Thought Crimes coffee mugs and the new designs coming to Patreon for sure. And just to remind everybody, we don't want our chat to be a echo chamber. We want y'all to share your different opinions. I love it when, for example, Two-Face Tom share his opinions. I love it when you see Doms in society and unapologetic and everyone, John, and all that. I don't need to be in the echo chamber. Just like in 2024 when people was like, get rid of they was like saying get rid of what's her name? ZZ.
OVO ZZ.
Shout out to OVO ZZ. She on the Patreon too. A lot of different fan groups of artists are on the Patreon.
It was actually some new niggas that had got here that said get rid of OVO ZZ.
Yeah, they said get rid of her. I'm like, why?
She been here.
I said, I'm not parasocial to any of these celebrities to get rid of nobody in our audience. I like, if people like who they want to like, if they think Kendrick is the knight in shining armor, I don't care. If they think Drake is the knight in shining armor, I don't care. Jay-Z, whoever. This is a media platform, not a, what they call it, like where you like, What's that?
It's not a training camp.
No, but what's that thing like when you only focus on one celebrity and they be like, yeah.
You talking about Coke?
Oh, fan page.
Oh yeah, fan page.
Yeah, this is not a fan page platform.
No,
so I don't care.
It's just our cartoon faces up there.
Yeah, I don't care who y'all like and who y'all don't like. I don't care.
Blood niggas, essays, Jamaicans, Haitians, all these niggas. All right, y'all know what time it is. But anyway, folks, let's transition to
the WNBA because this also falls into the point of dark money. Right now, the WNBA is dealing with right-wing think tanks that are causing all this cultural warfare.
And you know why, though, right?
And is dragging the WNBA down because the WNBA has been on trajectory upwards even before Caitlyn and the new class like Angel Reese came along to really blow it up, and Paige and all of them. And they're hijacking the energy of the WNBA right now. And you have Republican politicians that don't have nothing better to do with their lives constantly monitoring the Indiana Fevers, white players to see if they're being attacked or mauled by black people so they can go up and fire up their mics and also try to wedge in because it's not just only a culture war. They want it to be a Trojan horse because they want to get that WNBA money as well.
Okay, just to slow it down here, and Sin's not wrong about that, but let's start with DiJonai Carrington and,
Well, that's why I'm setting up
with the
before you get to that.
Yeah.
So they can know that.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you about to break this down, they're going to see that, what is taking place with the whole right wing thing. But go ahead.
No, I don't disagree with you saying. Let me see here. But anyway, so with the DiJonai Carrington, remember, and like Sin stated beautifully here, the right-wing think tank is tied to industry shit as well. They're running out of spaces, and they're going around like cannibals in Judge Dredd. They're going from community to community. Y'all ever seen those dystopic films, those apocalyptic films where they're living in their own internalized community and like a team of stanky cannibals come there and they knock on the door and they like, help us, we need water. We have a woman here, she's pregnant, and then somebody in there, the man be like, no, hell no, get away from this. And then some woman, no, she's pregnant, let her in. I'm telling you, I know, we can't do this, right? And they go in there and they eat and kill everybody. All right, that's what the industry does. And so the spaces that they didn't already ate and cannibalized, they're moving towards where they see fresh blood and energy. And those are, quote unquote, young women of the WNBA. So a lot of them are salivating when they're seeing, especially black young women, healthy young black women, and even healthy young white women to use as victim cards, right? So DiJonai Carrington's play with Sophie Cunningham was nothing abnormal. If anything, it's a random, boring ass play that goes on in all sports. A defensive player is very serious about. Yeah, that's all it is, right? So in that process, you had all these people come outside and say that DiJonai Carrington is being attacked. And anytime a black woman makes contact with a white woman in the WNBA, all these fragile ass conservative grifters come outside and they say it's an attack.
Right. So you see the connection of what I was, laying out so you could get it what he's talking about here. And that's the thing. It's a hard foul. It was a hard foul. Sophie has done hard fouls before. Cece has done hard fouls before. And every play that happens has now turned into cultural warfare because
there's a grift there.
There's a grift and they're trying to make a lot of money. And also,
there's a sensitive audience too. There's a hypersensitivity of an audience that they're looking to do this. They're policing black players, and they're policing the WNBA.
Yes,
because it's not happening. Look, it's not happening in the NBA at all. All right, white boys get body slammed all the time. Black boys get body slammed all the time. Nobody's sitting up there because there's no money in it. They see that the WNBA is hot, it's new. This All-Star game got higher views than the NBA All-Star game. There's this dynamic of gender warism that can be played into it as well. So they're coming over there because the Trump grift is dead right now. Trump is kind of like a lame duck president. There's no new grift coming out of that.
I agree 100%. And also shout out to Charles Curtis. We're gonna be reviewing his music as well. He just makes beautiful music, and we haven't forgotten you. And hopefully, man, you have your website. I told you to send it to us when you're ready. When you have a website with your music, so people can support. Also, he's from Camden, so shout out to everybody from Camden, New Jersey. But going back to what you're saying, Prince, this is an interesting thing because we talked about this happening, and it's actually getting on my nerves because the WNBA.
Oh, also don't forget Royce White, him trolling
too.
Yeah, talking about transgender shit.
The WNBA has a new set of characters that are dope. It's a lot of players. Whether you talk about Fudd, whether you talk about Angel Reese, whether you talk about Caitlyn, whether you talk about Olivia, Sydney over there in Chicago Sky, freshman, sophomore, junior, and vets. Vets like even when you talk about Mitchell, fired up. And everybody, the majority of people are happy based off of basketball. And what they're trying to do, as they usually do with their soggy balls, is they take their mothballing ass, smelling ass over here to where people are having fun and try to figure out a way to hijack it to be boring and annoying. And now they got all their podcast industry. Look, first of all, these industry people, because it's not even just fucking hip hop. Even the industry people in politics that are in the independent scene, man, you're all fucking garbage. Riley, for example, with her bum ass, who was never a dope ass athlete, by the way. She constantly is running her mouth. And I don't care about people like debating the whole trans thing. I don't care about that. People having a debate and talking about that. My issue is like, that wasn't even being a conversation. They made it a conversation. Now everybody's fighting, and then the most boringest white people and people in the conservative movement, whether they black, white, whatever. And I'm not saying all conservatives, because there's some conservatives we talk to, especially black conservatives. But these people on the mic, they have nothing to do, and they're fucking boring. They, like what Prince said, like grifting.
Sin, I think what you said was an excellent job. I just feel, this is the WNBA. This is their N1 era. This is their Vince Carters. These are the Iversons, the T-Macs. These are all these new crops. This is where it's a new generation. This is a new era for these wonderful athletes. And see how during the N1 era for the men in the NBA, there was no grifting commentary on top of them.
Except Stephen A. Smith.
Nobody sat on top of them, and really nobody gave a fuck about Stephen A. Smith at that time.
Not at that time.
And I want to be clear. Yeah, Stephen was barking up the tree, but nobody cared about it, right?
Yeah, that great moment with Aja Wilson backing down Caitlin Clark. It was fun, and look, and that's being overshadowed now. Every time black female players keep having their grand moments that everybody is enjoying, and Aja is a vet. Mysteriously, there's some controversy from the right to try to outshine Olivia, who's a freshman, to try to outshine Sydney, who's a freshman, to try to outshine Aja, who's a vet, even to try to outshine let me make sure Marina. I want to double check that I'm also saying everything right with her. She scored 53 points, and they want to overshine, even though she's white. They trying to outshine her too. Hold on, I'm gonna let Prince go because I want to make sure I say her name correctly.
Yeah, just to be clear,
doing Toronto team right now.
Yeah, doing that transition from MJ to Kobe, T-Mac, Vince. Like, there was no resounding restriction in its growth. Now, later on into that particular era, of course, Gilbert Arenas gets in trouble, Allen Iverson gets in trouble, but it's not the representation of the whole class. But the N1 era was like a new attitude era. That's what they were. They were the attitude era of basketball. And all of the guys pretty much got a chance to freely express that. Well, we're having that era today with the WNBA. This is not, your older sister or your mama's WNBA. These ladies, this is a different era. People got personalities. People they have favorites. People want to know what it is that they're doing. And here you come in with a bunch of dusty, rust butt men, old school niggas. Like Royce is old as Keefy D. Putting on the wig. Enes Kanter is slow. All right? And they're looking for attention. They can't get it no other way but to attach themselves over it. And like I told you all, you got to be careful about those hyper stringent conservatives, grifting people. I said wherever they go, they kill economy, they kill commerce, and they kill entertainment.
Yeah, so Marina, who's a vet, she was over with the Chicago Sky. And then she was also with the Suns. And, shout out to her as well because she was born in New Jersey. So shout out to her as well because of that. But even with the vets and with the freshmen, the newbies in the WNBA and the vets, they all are getting... Every time there's a grand moment where, like, men, women, people of different backgrounds and cultures are, like, they're really fucking with the WNBA, the right-wing think tanks, they just won't stop. They're very relentless, and at this point, they're harassing people.
Yes.
And they're harassing the players. And also, with this type of energy, I think it's also irresponsible because you're trying to get one of these women killed, in my personal opinion.
They don't care. As long as they can pod about it.
Yeah, because they get their aggression out when they're like, hateful with the black male players and it's still wrong because they be throwing popcorns and stuff at them. And the NBA only recently have started to put weirdo fans in their place that be throwing things at the male basketball players. Usually they don't throw things at the female basketball players, although from time to time, once in a blue moon, you saw like a dildo get thrown or whatever, and then they stopped that. But you're creating this weird, aggressive frustration around the WNBA, and it's almost as if you're trying to create an unfortunate event.
If they can pod about it, Sam, and I agree with you, and I'm going to be honest with you. It makes it hard to watch, because it's not even just like you said, Sam. It's not even the podcasters like Lurch with Enes Kanter or Royce White. That's his name, Royce White, correct? And
that's your cousin.
Yeah, not my cousin, because all he do is fight women. All right.
He has a.
Yeah, they say he got
sheet?
domestic violence issues. Like he up there punching women in the face allegedly. So it ain't no surprise that he focusing on women again. All right. But even beyond like that weird sideshow Bob circus theatrics, I'll tell you where I think it's a little irritating. It's because like when y'all know how they have like post game commentary, or they have post reporting where right when a player gets right off the court, they stop and they're being interviewed by a reporter that was waiting on the side. When some of the people that are interviewing some of the ladies when they get fresh off the court, they're asking about like Caitlin Clark when this woman that you're interviewing is not playing Indiana Fever or Caitlin, or it's always this weird energy. Or I don't.
Olivia, she was playing.
Yeah.
Mitchell was defending her on Indiana Fever, not Cece. Cece didn't do really well during that game, but Mitchell was killing it. Even though the Lynx they still won, and Olivia was saying. When the journalist was trying to be cute and mention Cece, and she just ignored her and said, like, this is my welcome to the WNBA moment because, Kelsey Mitchell, she's hard to defend and she was on my ass, so Olivia, as a freshman to the WNBA, she was talking about how she had to really step it up and was giving Mitchell her flowers, so much so. To add to your point, they're also doing this because even people who didn't watch the WNBA and they were just lying, like Stephen A. Smith, he finally said that Kelsey Mitchell is the best player on the Indiana Fever, not Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, so and great points, because it looks like here. Okay, so just to break y'all down on the news, if you didn't know, and second ex-NBA player declares for 2027 WNBA draft. Okay, and this is Royce White. All right, a second former NBA first round pick says he plans to enter the 2027 WNBA draft following a similar announcement from Enes Kanter. All right, just to put y'all up on game. All right. Royce White, who is now a Republican candidate in Minnesota's August 11th Senate primary, told Fox News that he is transgender and identifies as a woman. He said sometimes for purpose of basketball, professional basketball. White says he'd only reconsider if the WNBA issues a definitive statement. He says, I think I'd be unstoppable, White says. He says, I'll do whatever the coach needs me to do. I'll do whatever the girls need me to do.
He also
I think
had
it's
a wig
only
on.
fair.
He had a wig on too.
Yeah.
And did he have some lipstick on or something?
Yeah, it's what he like to do at night. Now,
it's that Illuminati button.
Yeah, I know people, it's like, oh, it's a, da-da-da-da. Now, I mean, look, I'm going to report on because it's going to become bigger news anyway. Some people are trying not to give like I said, he's been publicly platformed on multi-billion-dollar news networks that are looking for the clicks and views. He's platformed. It's visible. Okay?
Yeah, they made it look. Again, debating and having conversations about should trans women be in the WNBA. Yeah. It's not that there's an issue having that conversation. It's the fact that you didn't hear the conversation being had. Everybody was enjoying the game. And now they're creating... Players have different opinions of everything. You're going to have some players in the WNBA say, no trans women, maybe have their own league. You're going to have some women be like, yeah, I want trans women. I don't care if they're in the WNBA.
Yeah.
The whole point is no one was talking about it this year or last year in the WNBA until the right-wing think tanks made it into a conversation. And then now you have these two ex-NBA players who have right-wing leaning, or just they're in those think tanks trying to make a point based off of a point that they were the ones who brought up in the first point. And the point was we should have been focusing on the WNBA. I don't even give a fuck about focusing on what they all talking about. It's boring and they're distracting from the game.
Well, you know what that means, Sam? He is woketh, right? Based on their definition of woke, right? Politicizing entertainment, right? So let me give you an example.
They purposely trying to tank the WNBA so they can lie and say it's because it's how Caitlyn being treated.
Yeah, and no, it's how Caitlyn is playing right now. Caitlyn will have to play better, and it is what it is. We have to move on beyond this mediocrity.
Don't skip past that.
She will have to play better.
They are covering for her because every time she has a role of games that are ass, culture war.
Here comes this culture
shit.
But
then when she's playing good, they say let's just focus on basketball. Man, stop it.
In the NBA, when LeBron James, no matter how you feel about him now, when he walked out there and he had that shirt that said, I can't breathe, conservatives lost their mind. They went crazy. Why are we talking about this? Why are we bringing this to basketball? Same thing with Colin Kaepernick, boof-headed Kaepernick. Why are we talking about this? This is football. This has no place. This politics has no place in football. But now, when people are simply focusing on the girls in the game, here they come. Again, this is antics as usual. And yes, Sandy and I, we talked about this. Every time it's not Caitlyn that is being, like when she falls out of the algorithm online, all of a sudden, here we go with these conversations again that lean in towards talking points with conservatives. So this also speaks to another issue, Sam, and I'd like to hear your point on this. I've always told you guys, I said I felt like anytime women are demonstrating like strength publicly, like any form of strength, aggression, or competitive dynamics in their own respective fields, just like the guys are able to do, there's always an influrry of bitch assness from a set of men. We've seen it in rap music. When you get a woman come outside and she can really bar, then there's going to be a set of bitch assness that's going to come out of nowhere. This league is a league of women. So these women are competing with each other and against each other at a high level of dynamics that the most citizens are not able to keep up with them on the floor. I remember one time they showed just to say this, said, I forget how tall and big Angel Reese is when she's standing next to a regular sized human. I'm like, God damn, she tall, right? So these women have been able to, with unmitigated strength, been able to display their incredible skills. And here comes a set of bitch assness out of men. And I keep saying this, you really always see this when there's a colleague of women that are demonstrating effort at a high level.
Oh yeah, Doechii. I agree with that. I don't think Doechii has done anything, uniquely different from the men. To the point, like, Kodak Black said, I don't want no dark bitch. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you are in media and you have a problem with her on a podcast or allegedly dissing men, fine. But women listen to rap music, hip hop all day, and all y'all do is diss fucking women, and especially black women. And nobody's nannying y'all every fucking day. So when you got one woman talking about whatever, I don't see why there's a bunch of guys being crybabies, to your point. And like, it made me think about when I was a kid. And in rap music, it was Snoop Dogg saying bitches ain't nothing, NWA talk about hoes and sluts, and in New York City rappers, Southern rappers, West Coast rappers, they all was dogging women. Then TLC comes with a song, No Scrubs. And it's like it was a nuclear bomb that dropped, because then all the guys were whining, and I'm a kid at that time. I'm a kid looking like, when I was analyzing them, I'm like, how are y'all mad? Because I see a lot of offensive talk from guys. I don't see as many women crying unless a severe case happens. So I'm like, why are you crying?
Chicken
bark,
head.
Chicken, bark.
I need a hood rat chick.
So, going back to the Doechii thing, or even the WNBA thing, I personally don't get it. Like, I'm not saying that if a female rapper, mess up, that you can't like roast and joke like you do on the guys, because the guys sometimes get it. Meek Mill does something dumb, people joke and make fun of him, or if it's Drake, or
he's had the most roastable career,
or Jay-Z,
Meek Mill,
Jay-Z, or whoever.
Drake,
like people were laughing at Jay-Z fro with the Ab Soul outfit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when like people like be really emotionally distraught over Doechii, like even with the umbrellas. Okay, the umbrellas, for example, it was a little bad moment, but it wasn't that serious. Like, you literally have rappers who've been accused of raping women,
and murder,
and who have said like really crazy things about the black community as a whole. Y'all still listen to their music. Don't be a snowflake now. We also got a super chat, Prince.
What would be a black snowflake? Also, shouts out to Innovator J, back in the building again. Says Royce commentary is cool sometimes, but bruh got kicked out of the NBA because he's scared of flying. Did the fear of flying go away when you put a wig on? Yeah, I just point that out. I agree with Sin 100%. Y'all know how I am. I actually told a partner, that when you started seeing all of the, the Shy Glizzies and, all of the drill niggas, I told him, there's going to be a wave of trap drill girls coming out. And I said, then there's going to be some girls that are going to be rapping real hard. And they were like, what you thinking? And boom, out the gate, we started to see them, even all the way up to Glorilla. And I remember when I said, what was the Glorious album? I said, oh yeah, Glorious. I said, this album, I had just did a little review on our community. And I said, this album is, this will be her urban legend. Like T.I. had urban legend. I said, Glorious is Glorilla's urban legend. And I had people get tight about it. And I said, what am I talking about? And I just seen that in general. Like, before Meg Thee Stallion really got into all of that stuff with, Tory Lanez, people were already complaining about how she rapped. And I said, how is she rapping? Because, I mean, dog, if you not offended by King Von, you shouldn't be offended about anything.
There's guys there are a lot of men in rap who just make porn videos.
Yeah.
All they do
TYGA.
is porn.
Yeah,
TYGA he do porn videos.
He doing AI now, but he
probably gonna be doing AI porn hip hop videos next.
He actually had deals with, what was it, the Brazzers or Brazos, whatever that shit is, and Pornhub. Yeah, he had deals with them.
And hip hop platforms that complain about ass shaking music then go talk about the women who don't. Like Brandy Kane has put out amazing diversity of female artists and MCs, and she's a dope ass female MC herself. So my thing is, like, if you're gonna complain about the poison, show me the medicine. Don't act like you don't have a lot of deadly lyricist female rappers out here right now who don't talking about shaking ass. Pick one, talk about one, promote them.
You got Lil Sims out here,
because Lil Sims is amazing.
Yeah,
but don't be out here.
You can go through the list now.
Don't be out here faking the funk. Now, but people have different tastes. Now, if you don't like slutty rap songs, whether male or females are doing it, that's fine.
You may not like hearing about vagina,
but still put out someone then for people to go to. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, if I say there's a pesticide in coffee, right? And I'm like, yo, this is something that's on the Patreon, publicly on the Patreon. There's a coffee brand right now you could go to that's not sponsoring us. We just want y'all to be healthy. Or when we talk about canned goods and stuff like that, if you have a complaint, just make sure that there's some type of antidote that you
shouldn't have the answer like AI
that you're promoting, so people can go to it and check it out. Just like what we do with independent artists. We like a lot of mainstream rap, but we also listen to a lot of independent people, like even Charles Curtis III, who has a dope ass music that we're going to be doing a review on his stuff soon, and then we're going to be doing a review on Dime a Dozen and other people. But
well, and when I heard 50 Cent say, all these women rap about is their box, and I said, nigga, we couldn't get you to step away from that gun for nothing in your raps. I'm not trying to be funny.
Or box too. He was talking about women with I got the magic stick.
He was talking about pimping too. Come on now. And so when 50 said it, and then I saw other guys like, I'm tired of these women rapping about their box. I says, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. Because I've been hearing a lot of dick metaphors, and I'm cool on it, G, but I don't mind if the ladies come in and break it up for me.
Well, you brought up an interesting point, because a lot of men do talk about their dick a lot.
It's like, all right, G, I'm good on it. And when it curves, it hangs so long and it curves to the left.
And I don't see
I put it in your girl, then she thinking she gonna have death.
I just like diversity. I don't care
break it up.
The women rapping about their pussy. I just don't want there to be only that. But we do make an effort to go look for other women. We got Brandy Kane out here doing the damn thing as well. Like, I don't even know why. Like, come on, Brandy Kane is out here, and she's a dope ass MC. Yeah. She make knocking music.
Yeah, so I personally, what was it? My favorite video from Meg Thee Stallion was that Realer Than Real video. I thought that was fire. I thought that whole Tina Snow run was fire. It looked like she got some new shit coming out too, because she says I'm back, Act 3. So I saw she released it. So I'm gonna definitely check it out. But I don't have a problem with it. But I do notice when the women do get things going and they kind of like in their own state. I do see a set of men, not all men. I do see a set of men that dedicate their life to complaining about what they are doing. And I find it very fascinating.
They probably was slipping their DMs.
Of course, because they're attracted to it. And I was like, well, maybe you want to be domined by those women, or you're looking to dominate those women. You may have to adjust what and why you might be attracted there. Because if you go through history, Queen Nzinga, you can go through history. There have been a lot of badass women that have taken their heads off like rivals, whether they were men or women. There were a lot of women throughout even Africa, throughout America, especially black women that really put in work. And especially if you are a black man and you are coming through your ancestralship, your DNA, your genetic DNA, you got to understand the women most of the time tied to your bloodline have been some of the most unorthodox women on the planet. All right. They've always had to get out there and make things happen just in general. Now, I ain't going to say, white liberal shit. It ain't that they had to do everything by themselves. They usually worked in groups just like the men did. But, I'm not going to lie to you. Every time the ladies get going and I see some of us come outside and we started whining like rugrats is a little unnerving for me. It's unbecoming. Get it together, niggas.
I mean, I've seen
Get it together,
big
nigga.
icons and legends in hip hop do porn. There's no lower word than you can go than that.
No.
Like, that's why
Stallone did porn.
Exactly.
It's Rocky Balboa.
Like stop with the
Schwarzenegger did it.
Stop with the fake moral supremacy shit that you don't have. You literally saw Snoop Dogg have like multiple porn tapes. Then also have women on dog leashes.
The old Jay-Z joints.
With the titties out.
With the ladies, eating.
Jay-Z did soft porn with Big Pimpin'.
Big Pimpin'.
Music video.
He had the one with Luther Campbell.
So don't act like y'all respect.
Then they had the Fiesta joint.
Yeah, don't act like
the uncensored one.
Don't pretend that you respect women, because then if you respect women, don't listen to those songs either. Let's not be hypocrites.
Tay said Stallone and Arnold.
Wait, listen, because it's about how other girls are looking. So girls aren't looking at Big Pimpin'? Girls weren't looking at Snoop Dogg? Like, cut the shit.
Yeah.
You either against exploitation of female bodies, period, or you're just playing games.
Yeah, Queen Monarinas. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Alexander the Great. Nobody talk. They don't rarely bring it up that he was getting his ass. He was getting his ass beat by a black woman. I mean, listen. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, if you go through real history, you can find all types of energies of women getting busy in winning. So, I just noticed that the WNBA has had the most complaints, and it has been the most polarizing sport today. I have never seen anything like it, at least in our lifetime. Usually when we see polarization within sports, it's tied to one specific figure. It's AI. It's Mike Tyson. It's that. It's not the entire sport of boxing. For this situation, they made it it's the entire league that is just polarizing.
They did do it before to the Negro League.
Yeah, they got him out of here.
They did say the whole entire Negro League was polarizing, and they got rid of it.
Yeah.
And then
they're trying to get rid of all of it.
At one time, any black boxer was polarizing too.
Especially if they were beating a white person publicly.
Yes, Johnson and all that. So
but that's why they're giving that this treatment today. So anytime a hard foul is landed on a white player, it becomes an assault.
Yeah, they're trying to drag that energy into the WNBA. But
the last joint we're going to talk about here, Sam, we're going to talk about TYGA and his AI.
We did already.
We did.
We made fun of it because I was trying to squeeze 30 minutes for call-ins.
Oh, Sid, you had us detour to that other stuff.
I want to talk to the people for at least one or two callers.
Then next time, no unnecessary detours. Because if we keep in a tight schedule, we got to stick to the script.
Was your lips moving with mine?
I'm going to keep you directed. We're going to stick to the script. All right? I'm thinking we just going to detour and then we getting off the mic.
Was your lips moving when my lips were moving? So that means
no more detours.
You was talking too.
All right.
All right, we're going to take one or two calls.
All right. Y'all give me a moment here. I'm going to get this set up. You can continue, Sam.
All right. I mean, that's the thing. Y'all could call in for whatever subject y'all want to talk about. If y'all want to talk about the Tupac, Keefe D situation, if you want to talk about the Drake and Jay-Z situation, if you want to talk about what's going on in the WNBA, we're going to take a few calls and then we're going to
talk about TYGA's music. Do y'all like more? Y'all like his AI music more than his analog music? But I heard it. They're all doing that singing shit, though. It's like that knockoff Bruno Mars shit because what is his name? Chopper, NFL, whatever his name is, Chopper, he doing it. And they all put on wigs when they do it. Why are they doing that, y'all? Every time they do these AI alternative personalities, they all put on a little short wig. What's up with that? That's what I want to know. What's up? All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna put the number on the screen. We'll take a few calls here. All right, there y'all go. All right, Puffstein is now on the screen. The lines are now open. Okay, so y'all let us know if y'all want to talk about what's been going on with Suge Knight. What do you think is going to come about with the trial?
They also now they really serious about the
and Ellie Chopper. Thank y'all.
The Drake 20v1. They like having a big fight about it.
But you know Drake is doing it again, Sin. Can I tell you this real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember, Drake set that trap up the first time with Bobby Atloff. And since they said he wasn't hip-hop, but all of the hip-hop platforms covered it, and he's doing it again with the 20v1. And I'm seeing all of the hip-hop platforms. Y'all can do y'all thing, but they are all covering Drake on the 20v1. I'm not all that interested.
But Bootsy and the rest of them did that. Bootsy,
either way, I don't care.
No, I'm saying, but Bootsy, Bow Wow, there's so many people who did that 20v1 change of heart balloon style thing. And also, DJ Envy, people saying he keeping it real, but he said that he didn't know how to wash his ass until his wife told him to.
But sis, I'll keep it real.
He said his butt was dirty, like he wasn't washing his ass well, and this is really just some bizarre shit.
But that's my point, Sid.
This is about me.
Okay, just like I didn't care that Bootsy was on 20v1 or Bow Wow, I don't care about Drake. I don't care about 20v1. But apparently, the people that said they don't care about Drake, a lot of them people are, like you said, they're doing deep psychological digs about it. And I think Drake is fucking around. That's what I truly feel. I think he's fucking around, and every time he moves left, a lot of people cover whether his elbows are ashy or not.
Well, if it's for fun, it's fun. I mean, people want to say he lame. I don't have no issue with that.
You know what we talking about.
I think Spectre and the rest of them were funny, but no, to your point with the people who doing them serious deep dives, I mean, on what? Rappers have been going on that 20v1 thing for a while now.
So.
But we'll let the people call in and tell us what you think. The phone lines are open, 903-600-0530.
No, Sin is correct, y'all. DJ Envy did say he did not know how to clean his butt until he got with his wife.
Yeah, he said his wife. This is why, you know what? I'm going to take my headsets off for a minute until somebody calls in. Some of y'all people on certain sides don't know how to really roast.
DJ Dingleberry.
DJ Dingleberry.
Shouts out to Drew. Shouts out to Deuce, man.
Maybe
Shouts out to the cruel guy.
I would say maybe even some of the pro Drake people, like one of the deficits y'all have is, one, y'all take yourself too serious, some of y'all, and two, like y'all really trying to have arguments with people who said they couldn't wash their ass, and I'm surprised that there's nobody on that side who every time Charlemagne and DJ Envy and them be like trying to go after their guy,
DJ Enema,
their Canadian goat.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they never bring up things like DJ Envy admitting that
disgusting.
He doesn't wash his ass, or even Wayno's baggy eyes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But caller,
that's disgusting, y'all.
Caller, name and where you're from. Hello, caller. Still here?
Yeah, caller, are you here?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah. You must have a delay on your end. Go ahead, 856.
Yeah, I can hear you. My bad. I didn't know it was you guys. I was on the phone. Yeah, this is Charles, calling from Camden.
Okay, Charles, what's up? Shouts out to you, man.
What's up, man? Camden, New Jersey in the building.
Yeah. What's up? I wanted to talk to you guys about like the whole AI situation. Just in general, because as an artist, I'm thinking about like AI replacing artists in general. So like I was talking to somebody the other day, we was talking about like, mixing AI with like holograms, you could actually kind of make like an artist. Whereas like it's kind of low maintenance. You can have them out all over the place. You ain't got to pay to feed them, no entourage, no whatever. So how do y'all feel about things like that?
I think that if you're talking about independent artists like yourself, I don't think people should shy away from AI technology if you use it like tastefully. And like, for example, even with your idea of what you saying, which is like an all-in-one thing, this is exactly why I personally believe the industry is rushing to take over the independent scene. They want to take over all of the AI stuff instead of creating their own, because believe it or not, like we have Ghost in the chat, he's into AI and AI music and stuff, but he's working on his own software.
He actually does a pretty damn good job.
And I think that a lot of people are flooding into that market from the industry, like when you see the UMGs and, you know, the Warners and all that, because they want to basically just have a large portion of that area, even when we're talking about, you know, industry people in media. So going back to your point, you know, Curtis, my only concern is the AI data centers and people like Sam Altman. I think that instead of joining in the club with people like OpenAI, I don't like Sam Altman. I think he's disturbing, and he has a lot of disturbing allegations. I think it would be a better idea if a lot of independent artists and people learn the software, learn the technology, and create their own software and do their own thing, which we're starting to quietly see, you know, come up. So going back to your point, creating your own entourage as an artist who does everything on their own, I don't think that's a bad idea. Like even when Dime a Dozen, he was talking about the WB, and he was creating his own cinematic universe with using AI.
Yeah,
you know, so AI is not 100% bad. What is bad is when you get people who have a proven record to exploit you, who's trying to make your water dirty, who's having like these AI data centers also are having flesh-eating bacteria, some other horrific things enter into the drinking water. That's something you got to stop no matter what. But you figuring out your own thing, you doing your own technology, you making sure that you take care of yourself as an independent artist, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I think she's absolutely correct, because I know we was in Chicago and we spoke with some gentlemen at the time, and they were doing something along the lines of like portable hologramming. But it was like it was just a 3D dynamic of it. But they also incorporated live 3D painting and illustration. So you know, I spoke to them. I thought at least the inception of it, you know, it was a mock-up, but it looked promising, and I thought it was fascinating. I think literally to me, it's another tool. Of course, you're going to have people that are going to come out because they got to oversell. We oversell a lot in America. So they did it with the microwave. The microwave is going to replace the conventional oven. It did not. All right. Some people went right back to the oven because it's like, the pizza in the microwave, nasty.
First
right?
of all, cooking in the microwave is nasty.
Right. Or then you had the toaster oven. It's supposed to replace the conventional oven. It just happens. Even in art, since we're talking about hologram and art, Curtis, and you do a wonderful job at what you do, and we were definitely going to review your stuff. But even in this regard, like they had Wacom tablets. And this is when artists were switching to digital or incorporating digital through the era of Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane. And if you're an artist, you know what I'm talking about. And so there was this thing at one point in time where you had traditional artists, illustrators, and comic book artists that, you know, everything they were doing on paper, they were measuring out the comic panels one by one. And then you had other artists that they were drawing everything on their display, their digital displays. And there was a big fight at one point in time in 97. And they were saying, well, it's good to go digital because it can speed up the process. We can email each other. But there was this whole fight. And even with Disney, in animation, I can't tell you how many times with 2D animation, especially with Bob Iger, he's literally the top dog of this shit that got all of this started, where he said 3D animation was going to replace 2D animation. And every so often for a long time under his tenure at Disney, Bob Iger would come out and say a new style was going to replace 2D animation. It did not. If anything, at the least, it would complement 2D animation, or there would be mixed media, or you would just do a period where there was 3D films and then people went back over to 2D films where they watched both.
But also, to make a long story short, just make sure for yourself, like that, you know, what Prince eloquently broke down. For you, you do what's best for you, but within reason. Don't set with companies that you know is trying to take you out. Make sure you keep your original skills and talent. Don't get lazy and just be heavily using AI and then you forget how to play the piano or something. Like, make sure you're fusing both. Keep your skill set. Make sure you still, you know, keep practicing. But also, yes, creative ideas like having your own AI entourage. Great idea. That's actually a really cool idea. You know,
And think about your paperwork too.
Yeah, have your paperwork ready, have your trademark and all of that, copyright and all that. But yeah, you having
Get your paperwork right.
You having an AI entourage, I don't see anything problematic with that. I think that's a cool idea.
I bet, because I was also thinking about like you mentioned, like the tax on the environment, and because it's integrated into everything, it's kind of like hard to not like use it. Like you can't even go on like Google without it. And then I also think about like you said, I don't use AI particularly. My producer was trying to like talk me into using AI. My thing is with the artistry, I'm like heavy on the writing, and I just think that we're like losing like the plot. A lot of people, because it's becoming less on the, you know, it just sound good, but it's less about the human effort that was put in there. And I feel like you kind of lose the soul when you don't, you know what I'm saying? When you rely too much on the AI.
Yes, it got to be a balance. You don't want to put everything only into AI and then forget how to do things yourself.
Right.
You want there to be a balance. As long as you keep that balance, you're gonna be perfectly fine. But
Well,
the
also,
AI entourage thing, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, but also, you know, for you, Curtis, I would stop right now as far as like your ideas. Keep the bulk of your ideas to yourself and execute them first. You know, so a lot of times, you know, just because you got all
That's a
types
good
of people
point. And,
listening.
you know,
So-
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got overexcited with you guys. I've been listening to you guys for years, so I was surprised I got through. So I appreciate you guys and the conversation and everything. I had one more point to make too, just the AI and everything like that. I work with kids. I'm an educator, and what I'm starting to see is that a lot of them, you know, with us growing up, we had foundational skills that we could rely on. We had a sense of grounded what the reality is. And I think, well, I know for a fact, like a lot of these kids don't have that anymore. And AI is kind of sweeping that. So what are some things that y'all would suggest? Because I just bring in books, and like the 8th graders were surprised. Like we even had pop-up books. They thought like I made it. Like they was that surprised. So like, what are some things you think that we can do to like offset some of those disadvantages that are coming with the reliance on AI?
I think
Particularly for children.
back to what you're saying about reading books and then also applying it in real life, I think that is very important. I think it's very important for kids to read how to do as well. You know, so if you want, you know, the class to, I don't know, let's say, for example, how to make a little rocket ship. These little small things, little science projects and tests, I think is really good to keep them mentally stimulated. Because the problem is, to your point, Curtis, if they're just 100% everything technology, that's what you call someone who's reliant on something external from them, and that's bad. It's like for example, like it's like if you have somebody doing your carpeting all the time, which is fine, but one day, let's say something happens where a lot of the carpenters are gone for whatever reason, you're gonna have to learn how to do that shit on your own. So how to do science projects. You know, also books on politics as well, depending on what age the kids are. You know, even books like 1984 Animal Farm or Brave New World, or even having them read on, you know, different authors pertaining to Black history, James Fortin and all these different things, Pascal Randolph, Sojourner Truth. All these things is really important for the kids to have a strong sense of self, so they can be like, look, these tools are cool, but if something magically happens where I don't have those tools, I can still on my own create something.
Yeah, and also giving them the opportunity of the engineering of these tools. So it's good to know how tools work, and it's also good to build tools yourself, take it apart, and then put it back together, because you can become a master of it. So you understand it in and out. And also, to your point, though, Curtis, we do have to be very pragmatic and realistic about AI. Ladies and gentlemen, they had a report that came out not too long ago. I believe it was either 1 out of every 3 or 1 out of every 5 songs you hear on the radio. AI is already involved in the creating of the track at the very least. Suno is very popular. I see a lot of engineers, professional, legendary engineers, that have worked on big records. They have already been incorporating Suno, and also keep this in mind. Remember, a lot of times with the wealthy, they're using tools 5 to 10 years in advance, and then it is administered to the general market.
Dr. Dre,
So yeah, so
he
the
was
thing was,
using production with AI for a long time before it was known to the public.
Before it was before it was packaged and resold to the public. So I know there are a lot of people online, and they're saying this, that, third, but some of your favorite beatsmith, your producers right now that made some of your favorite hits in hip hop right now, they're already using Suno. So again, it's kind of one of those things that it's already out. Pandora's box is already out in the open,
Right.
and it's like Sid stated, like we both said, it's really how far you're going to take it. And remember, everything has its phase. Y'all remember that one time when they had all them nasty movies out, like it was Shark Tale, and they said, and that's it. It was the end of 2D. And then look at us having a surge of anime right now again. So things move in cycles too.
This is true. All right, I definitely appreciate this conversation with you guys. This was dope, and I appreciate you guys supporting me and everything like that. Yes, I really appreciate you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, and thank you for having a space for independent thinkers.
Oh, no problem, Curtis. And remember, I'm waiting on that website too. I want to support your music and the audience to go directly to you and put that money in your pocket instead of going to Spotify or not. So whenever you get that stuff ready, let us know.
Most definitely. I made a Patreon. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. We'll promote that Patreon as well. We'll add your Patreon to recommendations on ours.
All right, that's a beautiful thing. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Take care, bro.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh, sorry about that, Curtis. There's a clipping at the end, but shouts out to you. Take care, bro. You do your thing. The lines are still open. Shouts out to Curtis as well. You guys get over to his Patreon too, by the way, on top of that. But yeah, the AI conversation, I think for Sin and I, the biggest issue is, of course, proprietary thievery, which we've seen that happen. And, some of these people are getting in trouble now, but also these environments, and some of them are triggering very rare bacteria and viruses right now that have jumped over into the food mix as well. So we want people to also keep that in mind. Also, folks, take a few more calls, 903-600-0530. Shouts out to Curtis again, 903-600-0530. And if you guys want to talk about Suge Knight, speaking of AI, TYGA, what's the other guy's name? Felix, Lennox, dun 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 dun. Yeah, when I first heard that record, I knew that was AI because I heard that guy rap before. I said, that guy don't do it. They got one with NLE Chopper. He doing the same thing as well, So it'll be interesting to see if these guys, these rappers that are doing this, being the more public one. It'll be interesting if TYGA has any stock in those companies as well, any ownership. 347, you're now live with the Think Tank, P Solo and Sincere Ignorance. What's good with you, and good morning.
Hey, what's going on? It's Film H-Time again. I'll make it brief today. I just want to elaborate on what the previous caller was talking about, and the people that are listening. Get an Hermes agent. It is free. You can Google Hermes. You'll go to the website. The agent you'll be able to download the agent. You'll put it on your computer. It's a self-learning agent. So whatever you do with that agent on the computer, you're going to have to get an API key and connect to one of the when I go with the DeepSeek because it's super cheap, their API key, just know that you don't want to put any proprietary information in the Hermes agent concerning your job. But if you're working on, like, you're trying to do a website, or you're trying to do marketing and promotion, or you're trying to do anything where it's like, okay, all right, I can give this information, this can sound bad, I can give this information to China, and it's not going to hurt my product in the long run. You don't want to do it with OpenAI, though. You don't want to connect the API key with Hermes to OpenAI, because OpenAI is taking everybody's data and they're coagulating it, and they're going to end up making other products with what you give OpenAI. But you can get a free Hermes agent through Google. You can Google Hermes agent, get the free agent, get a DeepSeek API key, and you can start doing stuff with the Hermes agent. And whatever your imagination can do with the Hermes agents, the limitations of your computer, you can get a lot of things done.
Okay,
I'm glad that you brought that up too, because I don't use OpenAI for shit. Sam, he's too dirty for me. He's too dirty for me. He just steals people's shit. So I'm glad that
There's something creepy about him.
You clarified that for people because that guy has no fucking boundaries. He is out of control.
So yes, that's the important thing because DeepSeek is the cheapest one. But you always got to remember, if it's for your job, you got to understand whatever proprietary information you have, you're giving it to that company. So if it's anything that like you're trying to start, and you can like, all right, I can start this, and then I can get once I get a little money or whatever, I can get a local agent on my computer where the local LLM is on your computer and your data stays on your computer. You don't have to worry about you giving data to another source and them end up turning around and making a product with what you gave your data to them for, what you were trying to do. But the Hermes agent is free. That's the best one. At the beginning of the year, it was OpenClaw and Hermes. And on my tech stack, it's my OpenClaw is executive for what my Hermes agent does. And then I got a Deerflow agent that's doing deep research. And I should have some stuff by the end of the year for what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do a lot of analytical stuff. So I'm working on it right now. But I'm just saying, like, I don't see a lot of people in our community talking about the Hermes agent. And that thing's been out since February. And it's the S tier of all the free agents. And it's free. You don't have to pay for it. What you're going to get caught up in is the cost for the API key when you're trying to do stuff. That's why you use DeepSeek, because it's the cheap. Man, I put $20 on there, and I'm at $10 right now, and I've probably used like 1 billion tokens and done like 4,000 or 6,000 API calls. It's super cheap to use the DeepSeek thing. And it's whatever you're trying to do. If you're trying to do marketing, if you're trying to do deep research, if you're trying to build a website, whatever your imagination can think of, that Hermes, it will walk you through it. So that's all I wanted to say. I want another caller to call in, but I just wanted to get that out there for people so they can start getting on the Hermes agent and start understanding stuff and start using it with other applications that they got going on with what they're trying to create for themselves. So y'all take care.
Thank you so much. All right, Filmtown, great information too. You guys heard what he said about the Hermes agent. You guys can look into that, of course. Keep in mind with the API keying as well, folks. And again, some more of that information, like Curtis was stating earlier, and then, of course, Filmtown, you're always open to it. We let you guys call in and share that information as well. Like I said, as far as the AI conversation, I know there are people who are trying to make it black and white, literally, but it's a lot more nuance in that. Now, do you have, bullshit clientele like what's been happening with Copilot? Like, people, even big companies are like, what's the fucking point of us having this $1 billion contract with Copilot? We don't really use it. It has not improved our business model. And then there's other dynamics like some of the information you guys are mentioning in the chat. So it just runs the gamut of what you're looking to do. I will say concerning AI, you need to have a goal. You need to have a theme. What is it that you're trying to do? If you're just trying to do memes, then you'll be fine. You can move on. All right?
We'll have more information too on the Patreon about that. And Curtis, you can put the link to your Patreon now. And then again, I'm going to add you to recommendations. And just going to the point, I love you guys, but please also be careful with y'all ideas. Y'all know industry people are everywhere, and they do like to steal from the independent scene in the underground.
Data mine.
Now, I'm not telling y'all to be scared. Yeah, I think what Film said is perfectly fine because anybody paying attention with on this peep game what he's talking about, and we're going to elaborate more too on the Patreon what he was talking about there. But also, Curtis, I love you. Make sure you keep your ideas to yourself as well, because then if I do see an industry person say, I got a AI entourage, I'm going to get irritated with them.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. And again, I appreciate your excitement, but y'all know the rule of law in the universe. You keep your ideas to yourself, 90% execution, maybe 10% talk. All right. Do not announce it before you pronounce it, folks. All right. Because, you want to make sure, your ancestors are working with you. Your spiritual guides are working with you. They want you to win. They don't want you to talk.
As for DeepSeek, and then also DeepSeek is from China. That's right. China. Shout out to China. And then also with Hermes, what Filmtown is talking about, that's something y'all can directly connect to. That's something we could talk about out in the open because these are softwares that's already there, so we'll talk about it also more on the Patreon as well. But we also, from time to time, will be talking about it publicly on this platform because as most of us here speaking to each other are black, and it's good to share information to help each other succeed.
Yeah. And again, like I said, fret not. Like a lot of people, even though I know there's a lot of activists online, and then there's some people that are very extreme, and they're telling you, no AI. I'm going to be honest with you. Every avenue within even just entertainment, you as a consumer, AI has already been approximated there. It's everywhere. And a lot of y'all favorite shows, there's a good chance, especially some of the other ones that are not live action. I can tell you, I can attest, there are some of them even overseas that 50 to 60% of the production is AI. And remember, just like, years before, people like Dr. Dre and some even more other grander prominent engineers were using these tools in the background before they hit the public. Same thing happens with a lot of these studios in Hollywood and overseas as well. Of course, it cuts down on, production. You don't have to hire a 20-man staff, a 15-man staff, or an 11-man staff. So again, it is what it is. But yeah, to the point, I think Sam Altman and the things that are disconcerting concerning Grok and what we've seen, in some of these communities and what's been, with these outbreaks and even recently what's been happening with Taylor Farms, these AI data centers are playing a role into it. It's just kind of like the oil refinery all over again.
Dark said, I seen an AI obituary.
Yeah.
No,
that's crazy.
Bro.
Yeah, it's that serious.
AI obituary, man.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, people are having
really
AI responses.
Into a Minority Report with everything.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, man.
All right, y'all. We'll accept one more call, and then we'll be wrapping the show up. 903-600-0530. We appreciate you so much, KJ Forever. Says time oppression in the WTCZ. Love y'all. We appreciate you so much, all right? But yes, again, hats off to you, Curtis. Wonderful information, Filmtown. He's absolutely correct about it. You guys can look more into Hermes. Again, that's open information. You guys can definitely check that out. But yeah, most of the major businesses in entertainment and even sports and broadcasting entertainment, a lot of the stuff that you're seeing out there has been already automated by AI. I
don't want no AI from DJ Envy though. He's probably gonna show us a tutorial of washing ass.
But the AI may not be able to wash its ass.
The AI. Well, DJ Envy's wife can teach the AI how to wash its ass. Okay?
Well, she may have an agent to teach the AI how to wash its ass.
And the AI is going to say, do I need to wash my ass because I'm not real? Although, are we going to get into the robotics with you saw that episode in Buffy where the demon went and became his AI on the internet?
Oh my God.
And then it got a body.
That was the funniest episode you showed me.
But why did the body look like Predator? I said, what type? I said,
this is. Probably saw Predators ooh, this is what I want.
Yeah, this is some low rank technology here because it's the demon AI is in a Predator looking body. I was like, damn, they didn't even give them an upgrade. Humanoid, look,
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Also, Tay says, now to P's point, AI cutting down on time and expenses. That's definitely a benefit of it, in my opinion. Yeah, it's a lot of it, but again, there are rules and regulations. You will have to look over things. You can't just lay on your back and let the AI automate. You're still probably going to have some form of a specter, as Filmtown brought up, even if it's an agent too. So, it's just one of those things. But, what they have been finding out. Now, one of the things they've been finding out with the layoffs is that, yes, on the forefront, they'll say we laid off 87,000 people, 87,000 jobs have been cut. Now, what they will not report on the back end, they will have 95,000 people they would have hired quietly. Because most of the people that have been laid off as of recently by way of Silicon Valley, a lot of folks have quietly been rehired behind the scenes, and they're not reporting that. So it's a little bit weird, and if it's people are wondering if it's because of less pay, there's all type of shortcut dynamics that are going on.
That's correct. So, keep this in mind, guys. Make sure you are productive. Yes, we can have entertainment and have fun, but Go's doing a damn thing. You hear Curtis doing a damn thing. Filmtown doing a damn thing. Believe it or not, a lot of people in our audience be studying.
Yeah, most of them study.
Most of them be studying.
Yeah, whether it's in school, on a job, or retraining.
Be it blue collar or white collar, they be training, they be studying.
No, film tech. This tech nerds. We got all different types of people that are listening. So, hey, we always say keep doing the damn thing, and if you're able to provide for your family, make a better life, learn skills, learn techniques on the side, even if you can. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is most of free-forming university moments that we've ever had in human history. And remember, early on in the days of Kemet, not everybody got a chance to go to a university, all right? The foundation of universities out of Africa. Listen, a lot of people didn't get a chance to really, go to the higher ends to learn to specific codes and things of that nature. Today, you have that opportunity to take those things and incorporate it into your business. So as they always say, keep learning and learning and learning, young man and young woman, and make your ancestors proud. It's like, all right, old lady, get out of my face. All right, y'all. Anything else said?
Speaking of
final thoughts. We're closing up the show, shouties.
Just letting you know, we're gonna keep our community building on the Patreon as well. So
yes, the Patreon.
As I stated before, I'm gonna be recommending Curtis his Patreon. We have a lot of people Patreon that we have recommended on our Patreon as well, and I'm gonna be adding him in soon. He put in his Patreon already in the chat, so make sure y'all click on that and show some support.
We appreciate you guys so much, and again, we do have more information later on today. I will be uploading some audio for you all on Patreon, Sen and I as well. We're going to be cutting some other things on top of that. We're going to continue this thing moving on forward. We'll be back with you guys again at 8:15 tomorrow. And we'll have our subject. We'll announce our subject to y'all for y'all tomorrow too.
Are we gonna have Minister Flint ready, or Jack Milton?
90% execution, 10% talk, love. that goes for me too. Oh, come on, Brandy Kane.
She in the building?
No, you just popped in now. Now you pop in. Yeah, you missed it. Come on, Brandy Kane. Brandy was still eating cereal. She was, oh shit, them niggas live. Shouts out to Brandy Kane, y'all. Y'all gotta support Queen Brandy, all right?
You gotta start your own Patreon too, so people can support your music.
Brandy, what you be doing all day? Brandy pop in randomly.
We were talking about you earlier,
Yes.
and saying like people crying about women doing pussy music, and I'm like, Brandy Kane have showcased so many diverse women in rap and hip hop, and she's also an amazing MC herself.
Fantastic MC, got a wonderful voice.
People got to stop lying and complaining. If you want to hear diverse music, go to the people who are putting it out. And
50 want to hear diversity,
and Brandy Kane is one of them.
Yeah, because like when 50 was complaining about box music, I said, well, if you want to hear diversity, nigga, lose weight. I want the old 50 back.
The in shape 50 was better. There's certain people who is better when they fat. Like, even thinking about a skinny fat Joe is
it's a little unsettling.
It's weird.
Yeah,
like a big ass head.
Where's Gerber Baby Joe?
Yeah,
where's
I'm not saying
big Gerber Baby Joe.
Be fat to the point where it harms your health, but be like slim round.
Yeah, it's like where Jadakiss is. Stop right there, nigga.
Right.
Yeah,
Jadakiss, you don't need to go any smaller. That's perfect.
Right.
But then there's some people is like lose weight.
50.
Young Thug, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Lose weight.
Yeah, because 50, and the more he gained weight, he can't talk.
I know. It's slurring even more.
Yeah, I see Lloyd Banks. He got a tattoo that says Lazy Lloyd. But yeah, no, Brandy Kane is a fantastic MC. Got a wonderful singing voice as well. And like Sid and I said, we just talked about the WNBA. I'm like, hey man, why when the ladies get it cracking, right? Or wherever you're from, if you get it bracking, so shouts out to you blood niggas. But why when they get it cracking or bracking, where all the complaints coming from? Because I'm like, man, I ain't gonna lie. These are really good games. These are some really good games. So, I do get tired of a lot of the whining that goes on. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, Sin and I, we do appreciate you guys so much for sticking in here with us. We did a little bit of overdrive here, and that's because we wanted to make way for the calls. Do you think tomorrow, Sin, you're going to want to take in some calls, or how you feeling?
Each day depends. I can't give you that right now.
Day by day.
Yeah, day by day.
Well, hold on, Sin. I got to give you a round of applause.
Why?
You finished the stream with me.
I was gonna leave early, but then suddenly like said, I'm gonna stay.
They gonna be like, but why she gotta get a round of applause for doing her job?
I mean,
damn.
To be fair, somebody did make that criticism. That would be a fair point. Why do you need a round of applause for doing what you were supposed to do?
That's like sin. This is overtime for sin. This is a game 6 for sin because the way I looked at her face, the way she was looking, I was like, I'll see if she make it past 30 minutes.
Prince knows what it's about and don't say it. But like when I see like new tech or certain things, I'll be on it. I actually almost didn't. I wasn't on it. I was about to not be on this stream with y'all this morning because I was about to be really heavy on some type of software that I'm now using. So I'm like, oh, I'm really excited about it.
Man, she watching Pornhub.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Nah, Prince, I'm not watching no Pornhub. That's not my thing. But
I know that said.
Now you kind of telling on yourself though, possibly.
Not me.
Not you.
Not me.
No. Okay. But I almost didn't come.
That's what happened when you praise the black woman. She blasts you.
That's why I almost didn't come on the show. But I was like, you know what? I said a couple of hours I could do. I could get right back to it afterwards.
And I knew once she got in there, I said, got her. Got her. Now she's going to be here for the rest of the stream. So she be like, as soon as she's like, well, I'm going to just do a little bit. I said, nah, I got you now. You up and running. You're looking at the chat. The numbers are running. All right, ladies and gentlemen, but good job, everybody. Shouts out to all of the wonderful callers. Boys and guys, we'll hit y'all back up again. Again, if you have not been here, we was covering Suge Knight. Big Suge said, I don't want to be bothered, but they may call him anyway. We talked about the AI music from TYGA, and then we talked about DeJohnai Carrington and that whole thing with the Cunningham situation. It ain't really nothing no bigger. And then, of course, there's what else did we say? There's a Tupac murder trial. That's it.
Yep. Also, High Power said you doing them Scorpio activities again. Oh, Prince, you turn into Drake. You gonna bark?
Who?
Yo, bark, Prince.
Bark for what?
You gonna be? You gonna bark? Bark, Prince.
Did you see I Show
Bark?
Speed?
I said bark.
Your mic about to get turned down. Did you see I Show Speed?
What he did?
I Show Speed when he talked about what was he talked about? Oh, because Drake a long time ago when he asked, I Show Speed asked Drake a long time ago, he said, you know, how can I get women? And then Drake had told him, stop barking. And then they showed the clip that I Show Speed. He threw the headset. He says, are you fucking kidding me?
Also, Tay said turning into Drake is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, Prince was telling on himself about Pornhub. But anyway,
Who, me?
Nah, I'm kidding. I haven't seen you on Pornhub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen you on Pornhub, but I don't.
Scorpio activities, y'all funny.
But you are doing Scorpio activities.
How am I doing Scorpio activities? Living? That's crazy. Because we all say Scorpio activities.
Oh, Josh said we skipped his super chat. I'm glad you told us,
okay,
Josh, before we
talk
left.
to us,
Let me see. Where is it at?
Talk to me, King.
Oh, okay. He has one.
What is it? Okay, what is it?
Time oppression and the West Coast. Love y'all. We appreciate you too.
Oh, he's out of the West Coast.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the West Coasters. I mean, L.A., Oakland, Carson City, Seattle. Let me see. All the way up to, what is it? Portland niggas, Arizona niggas, New Mexico niggas, Denver niggas, Utah niggas.
You and John can talk about mud coffee.
Oh, because he's a Scorpio.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding. But also, I was wondering, are most Scorpios into mud coffee?
I don't think Drake's into mud coffee.
Okay.
I think Diddy's just into mud.
Because also, I saw Ja one time. Ja was kind of like hollering at like a pretty woman on X.
Okay, what was he saying?
And I was like, I was like,
using his business?
I wasn't his business. It popped
Using
up on the
Ja's
feed.
Wow, so you was spying on a Scorpio.
I was not spying on Ja.
What you was in Ja's business?
It popped up on the X feed,
Damn.
and Ja was trying to like he was talking to a woman who had like a really pretty photo of herself, and I was like thinking like, this is Scorpio activities, because it was making me think of when you was on X and you kept liking. It was these women on X who were doing like illustrations, like exotic illustration.
Oh yeah,
erotic illustrations of women.
Oh yeah,
And you was trying to tell me, oh, it's just because the art. I said, sure, buddy. I said,
mean,
okay, whatever.
I mean,
but
the art is nice, but I mean, it was women doing women things with each other. But the art was fire though.
It was the art.
The art was fire. So yeah, I did.
Josh said, "Say what now?"
John, like, wait, my shit can come up on the feed like that?
Yeah, it popped up on the feed, John. It was showing you. You was talking about some woman. She had a really nice photo of herself, and it popped up, and it was like John was like, "Yeah, you so pretty," and it was something like that.
He said, "Say what?" Shouts out to Brent. She says, "Oh, I'm getting my shit done up early, 4 a.m., homies." Well, shouts out to BK. Yeah, yeah. Josh said, "What?" See, you creeped him out. Now he said, "Wait."
See now
he's gonna change his settings.
He said, "Slow it down." He said, "Slow it down." You know what? Now I just realized this is not beating the case when people talk about federal sin, but it did just pop up. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It just popped up on my feed.
Yeah, because my stuff. I said no. I told him. I looked at the comment. I said no. The art is dope. And Sin was like, "Well, what does that mean?" The art is dope. Yeah. All right. So what did he say? What else? Yeah, but that's about it. But that's funny, Sin. That is hilarious. That now he about to go change his Twitter settings.
He should. If you don't want to, he probably will.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes for some of our people we follow, I had to kind of change, like, or at least not necessarily unfriend them, but just kind of, I muted their activity because I saw the stuff they were liking. I said, whoa.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. John's actually mostly tasteful in his feed. It's mostly, it's nothing crazy. He's like movies and music he likes, and then from time to time a pretty female.
The doors of the church have been opened. Tithes and offering time. Love y'all. We appreciate you, Dope and Unapologetic. Federal sin.
I know. Look, it's not my fault. I just pay attention to things. If I see something pop up, I'll be like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Sin's big eyes. If it happened, she saw it.
You know what? My parents used to say that about me.
Yeah, if she's staring, she saw it.
When I was born, they was like, when I was a baby, they was like, my parents, they used to call me nosy because I would just be. My eyes would be paying attention to everything. I'm like, I'm a kid analyzing.
Yeah.
That's what
you're a federal kid. That's what you are. It's a federal kid.
He started trouble early in the morning, I see. But anyway, thank you for the donation, Dope.
All right. I think that's about it, boys and girls, men and women. We appreciate y'all so much.
Okay. John said I wasn't trying to holler though. Come on. All right, John. To be fair,
yeah, man.
He wasn't trying to holler.
So he wasn't. What did he say?
He was just appreciating beauty. He wasn't trying to holler.
He said that the woman was beautiful.
No, he wasn't trying to holler. He was just
Look at he put his hand up. He could be listening with his girlfriend. We have no idea. We have no idea. Look at his
yes. If John's girlfriend is listening, he did not say anything inappropriate.
They said Sin started early.
All right, he didn't say nothing inappropriate.
And what did they mean? You wanted me to sit and listen to this show? What type of sick games are you playing? Cruel Guy says we missed his chat.
We still did? Let me see. Let's keep scrolling up.
See if we can find it.
All right. I thought we read the rest. Oh, no, that was KJ Forever.
Okay, listen.
Okay, let me go back up.
Yeah, yours may be able to go further than
Actually, it doesn't. Hold on. I think mine's not going up as far.
YouTube. All right.
Let me see. It's not allowing me to scroll up. Just without.
Okay, all right. I got you.
You found it?
Okay, Cruel Guy. Let me go. Okay, it says Silk the Shocker can rap, and I stand on it. Go up, TCZ.
Okay, before we close out, do y'all think Silk the Shocker can rap?
When I come in and girls be like, Durr. Oh, like Drake. What did he say? He said, what did Drake say?
Okay. Let's see what they say in the chat before we go.
Yep.
High Power said freak ass Tuesday stream. It's because of Prince energy.
How? What did
Can't
I do?
blame me.
Today's Mars Day.
It's because you're Scorpio energy. That's what you did.
I didn't do it today. You brought up the one about the women.
What did I bring up?
You said Prince was liking exotic pictures online.
No, you started it with, you said I was on Pornhub, which I wasn't.
Oh, you said, so you're saying
and
I
you know I don't be on that.
You
Yeah.
said, no, you don't be on that.
But so you started, I told you you started, you changed the energy of the
I,
line.
as the leader, will take that sin. All right.
Metaphysics said he believes Ja is trolling. Filmtown said he can rap off beat. Tay said fuck no. Jen said always feel like sin is watching me.
I always feel like somebody's hurting me. They got no privacy. Oh.
That's very funny. One time a caller did tell me to mind my business though. I did laugh.
And she was asking somebody a
because
question.
people always bring it up all the time. Because he's like, and yeah, no, because I was just asking questions because I was curious. And then she said, Sin, why are you asking me all of this? I said, you called in. We having a public conversation. I'm not supposed to ask questions.
She said, I called in to talk, not to be interrogated.
It was talking. It wasn't interrogation.
Hey, you know, I told you have a line of questioning saying you know exactly where you're going to go.
No, sometimes it just be spontaneous. You know, I'll be like, oh, this is maybe I'll ask this question.
Spontaneously federal. Silk the Shocker, I thought he was okay. I still think Diddy, for me personally, I think he's one of the hip hop's worst rappers.
Rel said something interesting too. That goes to your point. Silk is better than any Gen Z rapper. Ooh. Do you feel like maybe people feel now looking at it when they see the little pumps in them, like, damn, maybe it was too hard on Silk?
Is there a wave though?
No, because no one's making that connection.
Well, because
I'll give Rel credit. He made that connection.
Well, the reason why I think that was the case, you got to think about the caliber of Silk the Shocker's peer class. You know, like, it was so many real spitters that was outside. You know, I just think Silk the Shocker, I think his rhythm was just, it was weird. It was like his rhythm was different.
Brandy said, super trash then and now.
Yeah. To me, Silk the Shocker definitely sounded like someone that played basketball first.
He was someone who played basketball first.
I'm just saying, but you know how like Kobe was rhyming with
Yeah,
there was an era of NBA players that rhymed like Silk the Shocker. I think at that time Shaq was the only one that really rhymed on beat.
Yeah, but still weird.
Yeah.
But he did at least on beat.
Even when he did that song Twism, Twism, Twism. All right, Mystical and Mia X were the best. Yeah, Mia X was dope. Mystical was dope, but he's a weirdo.
They were the best on No Limit.
Hell yeah.
Everybody else, it was a struggle.
Even, I'm gonna be honest with you, Cash Money. Wayne later grows into a doper lyricist.
Prince, you trying to have me till 1 o'clock? Come on now, let's not be slick. All right, guys, we appreciate
you.
Y'all.
Ask a question and then don't get moody now. You asked a question. I didn't ask a question about Silk the Shocker.
Also, Brandy said, "I'm glad I made y'all go a little longer, laughing out loud."
Thank you, Brandy. It wasn't even me. It's the black woman.
He said,
"It wasn't the black man. It was the black woman."
Yeah, but I like blaming you. It's fun.
I knew she was a feminist.
Just like you like to calling me about Pornhub when I don't even be on that site. I like, blaming you and it's fun.
I know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have all had fun. I had fun here. Sin has had fun. We hope you guys have been able to enjoy yourself. We hope the show has made your day a little better or get you through your morning shift, folks. Or some of you all may be pulling in overtime. Or if you're a trucker delivering right now, you might be delivering for Amazon, whatever it is that you're doing to provide for yourself and Grubhub. Respect to you. All right. Folks, we'll be back again tomorrow. We love you guys so much. Saying any concluding formalities, anything that you need to state.
Support Brandy.
Support BK.
Support Dawn. Support Curtis. Support everyone in the think tank who is doing their own thing independently, and support people who have their Patreon as well. And we're gonna recommend Curtis when we get off of here. And also shout out to people who are doing their, documentary stuff and don't care what superfans think. Don't be scared. If you have a documentary on Rock Nation, or you want to do a documentary pertaining to OVO, or a documentary with TDE or whoever, this is hip hop media. You don't have to be scared to honestly talk and share your opinion. People gonna try to clip you up, and if they do, you could just tell them to kiss your ass.
Yeah, I got to keep that in mind. You'll never experience this time and this level of access to media again. All right? Yeah, I got to keep that in mind. Just like when people talk about in the early 90s how so many black street fashion wear was being sold in the streets. Y'all ain't seen nothing like that again until maybe now. So at least now, on a cyclical level, who has time to wait for another 15 to 20 years for it to come back in style to be able to run your own media? All right, y'all, we love y'all so much. We are up out of here. You all take care. Peace.
Thought Rhymes. Thought Rhymes. Thought Rhymes. Thought Rhymes. Thought Crimes. Thought Crimes. We are all the same. We are all the same.
More group coming through your airwaves. All right, now I'm here to kick the ballistics. Check out Thought Crimes. Are you following me? Coming through your airwaves. Coming through your airwaves. You ain't gonna get me with that one.
Bullet!